Fairy out parents. Do 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 do. Dun dun do 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 do. Fuck. Are we fine? Everything's fine, right? I set up everything. I feel kinda weird, to be honest. I'm here. You probably can hear me. Do we hear Mineko? We do. Okay. Hold on, let me sip some tea. Ew. I even got notification almost immediately. Pretty good. 37 seconds in, not 3 minutes or 20 minutes? Whoa. Did I change title? Ooh, I did. You know what's weird about titles? Is that this set of titles that I'm doing for Umineko Answers is all names of grimoires because I thought it would be funny. Because for first part was about murder mystery and they make... Oh, no. Okay, joke wasn't that it was murder mystery. Joke was that it has a lot of mystical shit, and I put in titles from Agatha Christie books, and now I'm putting in titles in title names of grimoire books, little magical books, even though this part of Umineko is supposed to be about real life and shit, and you know answers, even though there wasn't many answers. And another fun part is when YouTube told me that if somebody searches a grimoire name on YouTube in videos, there is a huge chance they could see my videos, so it's kind of like a bait. It's so silly. I love it. I love it that it's so silly. Okay, I'm drinking tea and then we are reading Minako. Oh. Did you know that even with seatbelts, people get into car crashes all the time? Did you know that here in the place that I live, people don't wear seatbelts like at all? And if you get into a car and wear a seatbelt, people gonna look at you weirdly? That's a real fucking fact. Not gonna lie, I was about to leave and take a nap, but now it's too late. I don't want to miss the story now. I wonder it would cause kind of thing. No, go to sleep. It's not worth it. Just watch a what or something. I know it's not as interesting, but damn, sleep is more important than this shit. Go sleep! Go sleep! I'm drinking tea, so we need to wait. Go sleep if you're sleepy! What I was talking about? Oh, I was talking about seatbelts. Good thing I don't drive in a car often. And it's not a car city. Okay, no more tea. Time to do Ominako. If you need someone to put a silk bed, just tell them F1 drivers always have them. There is no one more badass than driving. I have no idea. Oh, you mean Formula One? Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about this here. Hmm. Hmm. I don't think there is anything you can tell to people here that would make them wear a seatbelt. I'm not that sleepy. I'll be fine. You should sleep. I disapprove. 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 Whatever. Let's read them in echo. What were we doing? Oh, we are in the times of a Second World War. We are Kinzo. And we just met with Beato, who's an actual woman. A witch who came from the sea. Are we like writing a new chapter? Maybe? Chapter 5. The witch who came from the sea. Lieutenant Yamamoto, the Italians don't want us to tell the mainland about this gold. Oh, and we also discovered gold in, what's the name of this thing? In, underwater ship, I forgot. In a submarine in which Beato came from Italy all the way to Japan. Really weird. And gold supposedly belongs to her father? We can agree to disagree, or rather me just ignore your advice. To my own harm, meh. Umineko World War II time, oh... Huh, so they don't want our country to take possession of it. Oh, they started arguing about gold. Okay. What did he say? He's saying your group probably doesn't want it reported because you fear that Japan will take possession of the gold. Ensign Angelo is actually more afraid of Italy itself finding out. To us, our homeland's current government is mere puppets set up by the Allied forces. If they find out, the gold will be returned to them. However, that would be the same as handing the gold over to our enemies. Big question is, how the fuck kings are gonna be in possession of all this gold now? Are they gonna kill all these people? How is this gonna work out? They had come all the way to make sure that the gold didn't fall into enemies' hands. They needed to hide this gold from the puppet government until their homeland could be truly restored. Bad news for them. Ushinomiya, make a proposal to the Italians. Tell them that we wish to offer our assistance. What sort of assistance? I understand that the Italians are trying to say they want the gold to be hidden so that their homeland doesn't find out about it. However, they would need to obtain at least a transport ship if they plan to make it from this island. If they tried that, however, the mainland would hear about it, which means that the Italian government would too. That's right. In other words, there is no longer any way to take that gold over Kojima. So it stays here. Their mission must have been to hide that gold in absolute secrecy until the day of their homeland's restoration. Later on, several plausible rumors would circulate about how Germany also moved much of its secret wealth to a certain hidden area in South America just prior to its surrender. Is this real? It was a very natural conclusion to reach. That submarine was their only method of transporting the gold in secrecy, and it's become completely useless. They can fully stop the water from seeping, and it'll probably sink completely before much longer. There is no longer any way for them to transport the gold in secrecy. In other words, their mission has ended in failure here in the Far East. So just how is Lieutenant Yamamoto proposing that we assist them? We hide it? We're not gonna tell anybody? Great setup for big haste. The Rokijima base is a top secret and no one knows about it. The islanders in the surrounding area believe this island to be ill-omened and deserted, so they never come near it. Do you get my meaning, Ushirimiya? Uh-oh, what did he say? As we told you earlier, no one knows about this base, and as you see, it's of no use strategically, so the higher-ups have already forgotten about it. I thought they just said it. Does it mean they actually forgot about you and they not contact you, like, at all? So you're just here chilling? Sounds like Lieutenant Yamamoto suggesting that you hide the gold on this island. Beatrice quickly translated this and told Ensign Angelo. The ensign began discussing rapidly with his subordinates. They didn't look happy. Japan may have been an ally, but they probably didn't want the gold for constructing their motherland to be entrusted to Asians. Still, it's hard to imagine any other option for them. It's a fierce debate. Some say that there is no other option, while others think we should remain loyal to our homeland no matter the cost, and say Ensign Angelo is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Hiding the gold was the final order given to them by their fallen homeland. However, by now there was no way for that order to be carried out successfully. If the mainland or their own homeland find out, the gold will probably be confiscated by their own people from their point of view. If they really wanted to carry out their homeland's orders faithfully, Lieutenant Yamamoto's proposal was extremely reasonable. Though the lieutenant couldn't understand their words, it seemed he realized how divided they were. If we help out, we'll be able to hide the gold in the utmost secrecy. Fortunately, there is an abandoned tunnel that stretches all the way across this island. He's saying that if you hide the gold on the ground and bury it on this island, no one will be able to find it. Except people who know about it? Our side is saying that it sounds like a realistic proposal. However, there seems to be some resistance against accepting Japanese assistance. It seems they're having difficulty coming to a decision. Do you really have a choice, Italians? You don't think that you can hide this gold without our help, do you? And I doubt you want to leave it lying around in the beach for much longer. And Saint Angelo wants to minimize the number of people who know about the gold. He doesn't trust the Japanese, but it looked like he decided that Lieutenant Yamamoto's plan is the best possible option. But he seems suspicious. About what? He's wondering whether they really intend to move a full 10 ton of gold and swear themselves to secrecy without any sort of compensation. 50-50. 50-50? Yo! Sir, you can't be half of the gold to us. With that as our work wages, we'll hide the other half in nice and safe for them. These people are so dead. He's telling you to give us half of it. In the instant Beatrice translated the sentence, Ensign Angelo slammed his hands on the deck and stood up. Uh-oh. Instead of flinching, Lieutenant Yamamoto, true to his boast of once being attacked that everyone feared, actually looked even more relaxed and confident than he had previously. After all, they really don't have the option of refusing. I could demand 20% if I wanted. I've lowered that to an even split as a sign of a good fate. Of course, we aren't the only ones with a leverage here. If the Italians decide to leak this to the outside, all of the gold will probably be taken to Japan or Italy. We won't get even a single yen out of it. That can only work if we both partners in crime here. Well, I mean, there are real-life cases of individual soldiers or even units from Imperial Japan never hearing of their defeat because forgotten waiting to attack in a war that was already over. Technically, there are some paperwork shenanigans that actually states they are still at war with Russia thanks to murky island ownership. You mean... What's the name of the island? Hold on, I'm trying to remember the name of the island that you were talking about. Nah, whatever. Don't care. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool knowledge. And kind of weird. Kuril Island, right? Oh, maybe! Saying he would be all partners in a crime of abandonment. By now, he's already moved on to speaking as an individual, not as a soldier. Insane, so he's been blinded by greed. Lieutenant Yamamoto was grinning. It really did look as though he had been blinded by greed, just as Beatrice said. If they leave it just piled up where it is, you can be sure they'll be noticed when the boat comes for them from the mainland. If that happens, none of us will profit. They ought to accept our proposal and hide the gold as soon as possible. It sounds like Saint Angelo is dead set in the Japanese and Italian governments not to finding out about this. He wants to carry out his duty until the end. So, what exactly does it mean? He wants a gold buried deep within the island, even if he has to pay some percentage to buy your silence. Of course, some of these subordinates object strongly. They're saying that 50% is out of the question. Yoshiramiya, how is it going over? They also don't want any more people laying eyes on the gold, however they seem to object to the portions. Saint Angelo says that they'll consider 10%, though he's also saying that he's fairly sure Lieutenant Yamamoto won't accept this. Yoshiramiya, what is Italian's answer? They'll consider handing over 10%. This time it will Lieutenant Yamamoto who slumped down on the desk, but the Italians doesn't flinch either. An incredible tension filled the small room. However, despite his violent outbursts a second ago, Lieutenant Yamamoto's expression still looked smug and in control. He was probably confident that he now had the initiative. 10%? Now there's a modest proposal. Very well, I'll give up 10%. 40-60. Tell them I won't go any further than that. 40% for the Japanese, 60 for the Italians. The lieutenant made it sound like he was willing to stand firm on that, but in truth, this negotiation would not be made on equal footing. If the Italians just wanted the gold for themselves, there wouldn't be much of a problem. But what if? What if they really were true patriots and decided that they ought to return the gold, even to the defeated puppet government of their homeland, for the purpose of reconstruction? If so, they would probably report the existence of a gold to the Italian embassy. Eventually, the Italian government would petition their allied nations for the revival of the gold. It would probably want it all made it back to Italy, but it might be used efficiently to repair and rebuild the battered towns. If this happened, Lieutenant Yamamoto and his friends would only be able to sneak out a few ingots in most. He was greedily planning to make this his own treasure island, so that he and his subordinates could have an enormous fortune all to themselves. If he wanted those ambitions to bear out, the Italians would have to conceal the presence of the gold. But there is one thing you don't get. If Saint Angelo doesn't want to let anyone have the gold, he would have just let the submarine sink. Why did he have it unloaded? I'd rather not think about it, but Saint Angelo might have started planning to embezzle the gold as soon as he found out that their mission would be impossible to complete. Right now he's asking his subordinates for their opinions both as soldiers and as individuals with families waiting for them back home. The more straight-laced soldiers are furious. The discussion between the Italians was become fierce and emotional. Umineko Treasure Island Arc. Is Treasure Island Arc is a reference to something? There was something Island Arc in Hunter x Hunter. Is there like? It sounds like One Piece stuff or something like this. The discussion between the Italians has become fierce and emotional. Though their homeland had fallen, they had come all this way in accordance with its orders. They had probably been given this mission before they were practically faithful and duty-minded troops. It seemed they couldn't just agree to a foreigner proposal to embezzle and split up the gold. And Saint Angelo looked like he was doing all he could to claim the unexpectedly fervent rage of his subordinates. I can read, I swear. Looks like the gold is blinding them too. It seems no one can sort out their own personal feelings and the way they want to be perceived. How's the answers coming? Ushiramiya! Richie, Lieutenant Yamamoto asking for an answer. They're saying they want some time to think. I had you talk to so I could let off some tension, but that wasn't true for the rest of them. They lost a lot of comrades at the end of a very long journey, and now they're here at a tight spot. They even lost their mission, the one they think they could depend upon to guide them. So they don't know what to do. Sir, they say they'd like some time. Sure, let them take it over all they want, but there isn't much time. If they're going to hide it, that's take time and effort. Make your decision before noon tomorrow. That's all, Italians. He's giving you until noon tomorrow. That bastard, it's like he's trying to threaten you. And Saint Angelo is saying he'll ask everyone's opinions. How does it look? It'd probably be tough going. It seems that Ensign is willing to consider splitting it, but his subordinates and the others will probably oppose that. All of them have lost close friends on their voyage to the Far East. They're firm in their desire to do their duty for a homeland. Will they refuse the lieutenant's proposal? Even if they do, the gold will just fall into someone else's hand. If nothing is going to be left anyway, and Saint Angelo suggests that they each sneak at least one ignot back with them, and some of the others seem to agree, but men always get carried away at times like this. Even I can guess what they'll do. Oh, those two. Hello. Imagine the Italians had some complicated feelings about all this. In their eyes, Italy after the surrender was probably like an enemy country. Letting the gold go back to Italy would erase the meaning of their entire voyage. However, embezzling and splitting the gold would also erase the meaning of their journey. The country they felt obligated to serve had already fallen, let alone destroy the significance of this journey. Not a happy story for them. If it's bound to be meaningless anyway, wouldn't keeping hold of even just a few inknotes be better than nothing? Sure, you want to calculate straight up profit and loss, but men aren't like that. Elaborate, please? The talents were gathered in a cramped room, arguing fiercely. I don't like it. We must remain true to our soldiers' spirit until the end for the sake of our fallen comrades. And how do you define remaining true? By hiding the gold on this island? By accepting the proposal of those Asians? We can't trust them, especially the Yamamoto person. We must not let our guard down. Unloading the gold and letting the Japanese see it was a huge mistake. We should have let it sink with a sub. Oh, wonderful idea. Let's just sink it right inside the Japanese base. It would have been pulled up eventually. They wouldn't hide anything. There is no way to get the gold off this island without anyone knowing in the case. Ooh, doorknob. Background. Why do we need it? Why do we need it? If we had just taken the honorable pass and scuttled the sub, none of this would have happened. If we had known back that the sub is already broken beyond repair, why did you just ask the Japanese military for help, ensign? How were you planning to carry out the mission if they found out about the gold? Our mission was a failure from the moment you asked them for help. We always have families waiting for us back home. And we are more than done our part, I'd say, voyaging all the way to this island country in the Far East. You could call this a fair and just payment for our services. Chatter, 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 chatter. And Saint Angela, if the Japanese proves to be less than amicable, we need to be prepared to take extreme measures. And what do you mean by extreme measures, Corporal? Someone gulped. A stiff tension hung over the room. The Japanese here are pushovers. They all cowards with no battle experience. I mean, they're right. And we are elites. We know the layout of almost the entire base, amongst with the numbers of Japanese troops and how they are arranged. If Ensign Angelo gives the order, we should be able to subdue them quickly. That's such a nice plot. It's so interesting. What are they gonna do? I got memory whiplash seeing Will in line again. I have to remember that first, they had been told a story after Beato's death, and second, the game's character had mostly nothing to do with the previous chapter since it is a special stage thing. This is why I don't want to miss the story. Many moving parts. I mean, I understand. But still, it's not worth your sleep. It's not worth your well-being. Only a few of them, Yamamoto included, look like fighters. The rest are just laborers attached to the military. It may look like they have the advantage of numbers, but we have a greater military force. If we kill the Japanese, how are we going to explain it when the boat comes for us? You really think that'll work? There should be plenty of ways as long as the corpses aren't found. Damn. It could be so creepy. This could be such a scary horror movie. Thriller movie? And Saint Angelo, it will be easy to subdue the space. If we kill Yamamoto and a few strong fighters, the laborers will probably surrender easily. Let's have them carry the gold and bury it. Of course, we'll have to silence them afterwards. Are you suggesting we massacre all of them? Let's do it. If we kill them all, no, we have to know about the gold. So true. At this moment, the door, which was supposedly been locked, opened slightly, and a metal object was thrown in. Uh-oh. No, now never sleep, mahaha. Yeah, it wasn't worth typing that. Sleeping is good. You should sleep. Granata. I mean, now it became a sort of killing game. Who's gonna kill who first? As they yelled right now, the table was kicked over to be used as a shield, and they all dropped to the floor. However, in the cramped room, it probably wouldn't do them any good. The Italians will all prepare for death. A dot! It's a dot! Imagine title for the movie would be Rokujima the Golden Curse. Ooh, pretty good actually. Fortunately, the shogi grenade was a dot. What's a dot? Sorry, hold on, bang time? Beautiful image in Bang today. Dot. Meaning. Means worthless. A thing that fails to work properly or otherwise unsatisfactory or worthless. Is a fake training round or grenade. Ooh. Okay. Fortunately, the shock grenade was a dot. The door was slammed open and 3 Japanese soldiers wielding pistols jumped in. Damn it, it's a dot! Kill the Italians! Kill the Italians! Return fire! Fire at will! They're gonna massacre here. Okay. In this small room, no matter who shoot here, it was bound to hit someone. The exchange of bullets instantly caused a rain of blood with casualties on both sides. The 3 who had jumped in were covered with bullet holes and fell over, moaning and thrashing. Cough? Cough? Gino! Damn, they got his lung. We can't save him. Oh, it was Gino. We should consider ourselves lucky. If the grenade was gone off, we'll all be dead. Grenade was still rolling about on the floor. It had been a surprise attack. Lieutenant Yamamoto had probably judged that the negotiation would... I hate the sound. I hate this high-pitched sound. Ow. Negotiation would not go this way and had decided to make the first move. Or else, maybe he had been planning from the beginning to put them in the position of having to take the vote. In order to gather them all in one place. Rokujima belonged to the Japanese. If they killed all of the Italians, then not a half but all the gold will go to them. There was still a chance that grenade might go off late. The Italians rushed out onto the corridor. They heard gunfire from down the hallway. It was coming from the direction of the submarine dock. Clearly, the troops guarding the pile of gold were being attacked. Ensign Angelo, what are your orders? We have no choice. Kill the Japanese! Oh no. Like it was the shape of it, moving parts of it, but not the payload, or explosives, or actual bullet. Okay. Lieutenant, these guys are good. Those Italians aren't your ordinary sailors. I see. Needed men good enough to guard the gold. We have the numbers. Keep your cool, surround them, and kill them. Let's hunt some Italians. Cool. Good expression. As soon as I heard the sound of repeating gunfire, I knew that whatever it was that had been smoldering since the time the gold was uploaded had finally burst into flame. The eyes of our soldiers when looking at the gold has not been normal. Yes, those eyes had been entranced by demons. The Italians had also been at breaking point due to the heavy burden they bore. Who wouldn't have snapped after becoming trapped in a distant land where you can't understand the language or the writing? Thinking I had to do something, I ran towards the sound of gunfire. Why? Looking back to it, it was an extremely foolish thing to do! That sound meant that there were people shooting at each other, people killing each other. And yet, Unarmed as I was, I dashed towards the sound as I was trying to mediate some schoolyard fight. It didn't take long before I learned how foolish and naive such a thing was in the heat of a battle. Aren't you a soldier? Why are you like this? It's so dumb. Also, in this context, there's two definitions for the dot on military thing. It can also mean that it failed thanks to any numbers of reasons, poor storage, sabotage, or maybe manufacturing error. The fact they said the grenade might still go off might indicate it's a second meaning. Cool. Cool. Didn't take long before I learned how foolish and naive such thing was in a heat of battle. Yep. Hiraoka? Warrant Officer Hiraoka was lying face down, his entire body drenched in blood. Judging by the trail of blood behind him, it was clear that he had somehow managed to crawl here from a different room before dying. No, he was still twitching. He might not be dead yet. But on this island without a doctor? No, even if we had a doctor, how could anyone possibly save a man who had been shot this many times in the chest? When I looked into the room, we must have crawled out of it. I saw two more blood-stained Japanese corpses. I fell backwards pathetically on my butt, my mouth hanging open in shock. Come to think of it, that was the first time... Did you hear the sound? Okay, you can't hear the sound. Hold on, let me check real quick what the fuck is going on out here. I can hear a lot of sounds. It was a sound as if something under pressure was slowly opening, and I thought it's some pickles because I had a case of pickles blowing out on stream. It was really scary. I got scared. It was kind of sound like this, but I don't know what it was. So we'll never know. Probably. Come to think of it, that was the first time I had ever faced death in my life. The entire world was at war. Even though millions were dying both east and west, this was the first time I met a person's death directly. Ridiculous. Didn't I join the army hoping to die? Didn't I whine about not being sent to the front lines? Yes, so rejoice, Kinzo. Isn't this death you were looking for? Why not spread your hands and yell it loud? Come for me, magnificent death. Someone came running towards me. It was a colleague of mine, a Japanese man, Tajima-kun. Run! He dashed towards me, pale-faced and out of breath. His face seemed horribly contorted with terror. Mine probably looked the same. Tajima-kun, what happened? Run away! We will all be killed! Someone yelled in Italian, and at the same time Tajima-kun let out a scream. Then he grabbed onto me as he fell on the floor. A red stain was spreading across his back before my eyes. Tajima-kun. Run. Cough? As he spat bubbles of blood, he said this one word, and died. But the shocking events of seeing someone die right in front of me did not capture my attention. No living thing is concerned with the death of others at a fundamental level. The one thing that matters is whether they themselves die or not. My attention was fully occupied by the barrel of the gun the Italian soldier was pointing. Tajima-kun's back burst once more as he leaned against me. Flesh tore, blood splattered. The warm splash of it covered my face. Was the Italian still trying to finish him off, even though he had stopped moving for good? How foolish I've been. Can I still not understand this scene in front of me? Rejoice, Kinzo! Now you'll finally get what you wanted all this time! The Italians didn't fire to finish off Takuma-kun. He had been aiming at the man Tajima-kun had fallen on, me, Shiramiya Kinzo. I pushed the corpse aside, scrabbled against the floor, and dashed away, tumbling over myself. My hand had pulled off against the floor hard enough to tear off the ring finger fingernail on my left hand. When faced with death, humans truly can resist with all their got. I tumbled over and over as I ran, scraping up parts of my body. It was a painful hot, but that didn't matter at all. I heard a yelling in Italian come from behind me over and over again. It felt like they were running, chasing after me. I didn't want to look back, so I kept on running and running as though the Italians were right behind me. This is death. Didn't you want to die? No, I don't want to die. Why? Didn't I want to die so badly? But now I know. I know how wonderful it is to be alive. She taught me. Bitchy did. I can only be free when I talk with her. No, by talking with her, I was finally alive for the first time. I was finally born. I want to leave. 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 I don't want to die. I want to leave and see her right now. If I don't see her, I'll die. I'll be killed. Stay cool, Kinzo. She might be killed too. If you leave and she dies, you might as well be dead. Before I knew, my face was covered in tears, snot and drool. Nice. Then I stumbled over something and fell. I was finally able to come to my senses a little. I could still hear intermittent gunfire. The gunfight was still going on, and it had spread throughout the entire base. Vichy, are you okay? I'll find her and take her to the safe place. The lieutenant will probably kill all of the Italians to steal the gold. Vichy probably won't be an exception. Vichy. Vichy! Vichy? It didn't grab my attention. Proceed to explain how info grabbed his attention, even if not in the way he would expect. Meeting you was the first time I ever lived. The first time I was ever born. So if you die, I'll die again. I could feel every cell in my body being reborn, not as a Shiramiya Kinzo, but as completely different Kinzo. Of course, I was terrified that I might really be shot if I went back. But I no longer wanted to die, in the truest possible sense, so I was able to overcome my fear. Peachy! I love yelling. Rubens, what on earth is going on? What is all of this? There is no need for you to know. Just stay hidden here. Don't come out until one of your fellow countrymen calls for you. I heard an Italian voice. He's over here. Goddamn Asians. Rubens stole the Beatrice behind his back and neatly shot the two men rushing at him with two 9mm bullets from his Beretta M1934. Do you really need the name of his gun? Is this important? One of the 8mm bullets from the Type 74 semi-auto pistols went straight into Rubens' chest. Eh? All three of the shooters were stuck in the chest and fell down in heap. No! Rubens! Go up to the surface. Hide in the forest. Cough cough. Rubens! My, aren't we chatty? The next person to appear was the commanding officer of the Japanese soldiers, Yamamoto. The blast of 3 guns had just sounded. Adding on Beatrice's screams, it was hardly surprising that he had noticed the encounter. If he had succumbed to this way, we should have taken the woman as a hostage in the first place. Damn annoying, that's what you are. Yamamoto spat. Beatrice used this moment to snatch up Ruben's gun. Oh, picking up a gun without hesitation. Italian woman sure is scary. Damn it. You both managed to screw up. He spat this last part on a 2 dead man who lay moaning at his feet. However, it wasn't particularly surprising, and this wasn't the only place it was happening. Nearly everyone had met head-on in these tiny, cramped tunnels. Then both sides shot recklessly in a situation like this. The result was 2 corpses. So the way to be fastest was to put the trigger immediately the moment you sense another person. That was the only way to make it through this battle without ending up with a bullet in your chest. Because of this, both Japanese and Italians killed each other without hesitation, and they sometimes even pulled the trigger on their own countrymen when they unexpectedly ran into each other. I have a slight suspicion that whoever wrote this is maybe, just maybe, a World War II buff history nerd after having to describe the exact sidearm and the main rifle for the standard units. Not that I can judge them, I am too... Oh... I wish I was history nerd. I'm not. But it's weird that somebody would describe guns. I mean, I understand the idea that he did it because he wanted to do it, but in the context of a story, and a story like this, maybe it means something, but maybe not. Literally fan service. Juratus. And in the midst of us all, a large number of Japanese men who had no idea what was going on ran towards the noise and became victim one after another. Also, they all killed each other. Okay, it didn't matter whether the other person was holding a gun or not. Everyone reflectively pulled the trigger at the sight of anyone other than themselves trying to stay alive. The slaughter engulfed the entire base. This was a fierce gun battle taking place in a submarine dock, and a massacre resembling a hunt was taking place inside the base. The most of the non-combatants assigned to the base were killed before they knew what was going on. The Italians were indeed quite seasoned troop, but their numbers began to drop bit by bit. Bloodstained corpses lay scattered all across the base. At first, I had probably been a proper gunfight. However, as they gradually became desensitized, it devolved into a most basic cause of war throughout humanity, the desire to kill all foreigners you don't understand. Whenever they heard words they didn't understand, they pulled the trigger. By that point, the screams of foreigners sounded no different from those of man-sharp beasts. After all, they couldn't understand pleading in another language. So it had long ago turned to a mere massacre. As the number of dead surpassed the number of living, silence began to return to the base. Where's Kinzo? Just when it felt as though everyone had died and the desolate sound of a wind blew throughout the caves, there would be a sudden scream, the crisp sound of a gun, and one would remember that the massacre still wasn't over. Nasty. This happened over and over again, until eventually, true silence fell. It marked the pitiful end for those led astray by gold. The leader of the Italian soldiers, Angelo, had managed to survive somehow. Not for long, he encountered nothing but corpses of friend and foe. All was quiet once more in the base. If he was careless enough to call out, he might be shot from the shadows somewhere. I doubt the Barretta M1934 Italian sidearm, normally used by officers, and the Type 14 pistols, Japanese sidearm, same as the Italians, mostly used by officers, gonna matter in the story, or are you gonna tell me it's gonna be super crucial red truth? Maybe there are actually, you know, magical girls in disguise as pistols, and then they're gonna appear in the witch's side as a helpers to Beatrice. You know, this type of shit, as they did before with other types of guns. If he was careless enough to call out, he might be shot from the shadows somewhere. So he snuck about like a panther, breathing quietly and searching for remaining enemies. There was no sign of trace of any living person. Maybe all of the people in the base had died. Damn Japanese. The Japanese stuck first, but at that time, we were also talking about killing now. They simply made the first move as military men. So perhaps I should be grateful for today. Even if the boat had come to take us away, there wouldn't have been no honor for us. We would have been mere failures in our mission, unfit to face our dead comrades. Perhaps dying here in the Far East alongside my gun is a more fitting end for a soldier. No, stop, we do not make military equipments waifus, not again, never again. It's so funny though, it's so funny. I love when it's happening. From another corner, I noticed the sound of a leg being dragged along the ground, and I started to hear. Strained to hear? Is someone seriously wounded? Was shuffling with a limp? Notice that. See? I spilled some tea on myself? What a moron. Someone seriously wounded and shuffling with a limp? Hold on. Is my mic okay? Doesn't it have weird sound when you speak? Because I kinda hear weird. Fuck. What was weird sounds today? Hold on, let me mute for a second and check it. I do hear a weird sound. Okay, hold on. Yeah, now it's gonna be fine, sorry. Was it here for long? I'm sorry, I didn't heard it before. I usually can hear it in my ear headphones. In my headphones. I need to hit my mic in order for this to stop doing it. I don't know what's the problem. If someone's seriously wounded, yeah, I read it 3 times already. At this stage, there is no point in taking prisoners. We must divorce of all the Japanese. I'll dash around the corner, quickly check to see who they are, and shoot if it's a Japanese person. Nothing more. I've been hiding my footsteps the whole time. They probably don't know I'm here. Once the shuffling footsteps had come close enough, Angelo leaned around the corner and raised his gun. The voice had reached him. Spoke Italian. Yay, Beata? Run. You! I've been looking for you and Saint Angelo. Date makes all of you. I've been counting Italians' corpses, you see? No, don't die! And Saint Angelo! Blood poured from Angelo's chest, his gun fell to the floor, then his knees, and then the rest of his body crumpled and stopped moving. Yamamoto's accuracy with the gun wasn't particularly stellar. However, Angelo had waited until they were fairly close before jumping out, so Yamamoto has been able to hit his target. And he had managed it with a short-barreled handgun in one hand and a woman as a hostage in the other. Why be able to just scream "run" in Italian before it? I mean, I know he could kill her, but she's a hostage. Does it really matter? Maybe when you spill the tea, I don't know. No, it's doing this kind of regularly on regular basis since I brought this mic. Not the best mic, but you know. And he had managed it with a short barrel handgun on one hand and a woman as a hostage in the other. Really though, Arakejima Garrison was pathetic. I'm the only one who's not dead? Trash. All of them. Oh! So almost all of them dead. Okay. That explains a lot of how it went. So now Yamamoto gonna kill Angelo and Kinzo gonna kill Yamamoto? And he and Beato gonna live here now? Something like this? Really though, aren't Kojima Garza was pathetic. Am I the only one who's not dead? Trash, all of them. Can you fight without using a woman as a shield, you brute? Let go! Nah, he doesn't get it. Quiet! Noisy, these Italian girls. If you just be cooperative, I'd at least spare your life. It was such an obvious slide that even he wore a bitter smile. The Italians were spies working for an enemy, and they all died alone with a garrison in a gunfight. That was a story Yamamoto wanted to tell, so he couldn't afford to have any Italian survivors. Why is he talking to people who do not understand him? At this point, he wouldn't be able to keep the entire pile of gold, but he could at least grab as many ingots as he could carry. Even that would be worth a huge amount of money. Beatrice suddenly swung her head, smashing Yamamoto's nose hard. Someone help! Someone! You bitch. She almost managed to escape. However, Yamamoto quickly grabbed her leg and tripped her. She fell onto her back, and Yamamoto mercilessly stomped his foot down on her stomach and pointed his gun at her. I don't make a hobby of taming tomboys. Die. Lieutenant Yamamoto, she has nothing to do with this. Let go of her. Kinzo had jumped out from the shadows. He was holding a gun he had stolen from one of the corpses. Shiramiya? Ah, so you're alive. Let her go. You're hurting her. It was you, wasn't it? You tripped the Italian off. What are you talking about? Yamamoto didn't know that the grenade has been dead. The surprise attack, which he had been certain would work, had failed, so he had decided that Kinzo might have tipped them off. How does this work in his head? Okay, whatever. It's your fault that the surprise attack failed, and now look what's happened. You turncoat, I know you've been working with them through this woman. Can you see that you caused all of this because you were blinded by gold? Run, Kinzo! This man has shot people begging for their lives. He will shoot you too. Don't talk Italian. If you open your mouth again, I don't hesitate to shoot. It hurts. Awful performance. Yamamoto ground his heels into Beatrice's gut. Stop it, stop it. She has nothing to do with this. Are you pointing a gun at a superior officer? Stop and think a bit, fool. If we agree to keep to the same story, we can have the pile of gold all to ourselves, right? I could only grab a few for myself, but if we work together, we can sneak off with even more. I don't mean this as your superior officer. Let's split it between us as men. Haven't you already killed the last person you said you split the gold with? Shiramiya. Look like you prefer lead to gold. I don't know what it means. Without any hesitation, Yamamoto raised the barrel of his gun towards Kinzo and pulled the trigger. It grazed Kinzo's right ear. Did it? If Yamamoto's aim had been just a bit better, the bullet would undoubtedly have slammed to Kinzo's face. Kinzo, how could you? You... Not letting Yamamoto's momentary distraction go to waste, Beatrice lashed out and planted her right foot in Yamamoto's crotch. After mourning in pain, a demonic expression flashed across Yamamoto's face, and he stomped on her chest. Oh no, not Beato! Pichi! You bitch! Die! Beatrice shut her eyes tightly, hoping that she could withstand the coming pain. No one would want to have their eyes open at the moment they were shot. He preferred lead like bullets are made of lead, so he preferred a bullet instead of a gold, basically. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice, I understand. Now that I understand it. You... Thick sprouts of blood squirted out of Yamamoto's chest. Just you took many lives for your own sake. I take your life for my sake. For mine. Was Yamamoto able to hear the last of Kinzo's words to him? In the last moments, Yamamoto seemed to grin. Then slowly he fell over backwards, a river of blood trailing from his body. Kinzo, are you okay? I'm sure you'd been shot. Beatrice tried to stand up, but then doubled over and started coughing. Vichy, are you hurt? Poor boys, my ribs are hurting. That brute really was stomping them hard. Will you be alright? I hope they aren't broken. Italian women don't break so easily. But thanks, I owe you my life. If you hadn't come, I'd have all ended here. This can totally be unrelated short film, just saying. It's pretty good. Yamamoto had shown no mercy. Her ribs were probably cracked. It could be even like full-length movie, if you can write it good enough. We didn't have the option of waiting, possibly for several days, for the ship that was coming. I made a decision to ferry her off this island. The man who kept yelling about preserving the secrecy of the base is lying here dead. Excuse me, what happened to Angelo? And if his name was Angelo? I already forgot. Did Yamamoto kill him? Angelo... Yeah. Blood poured from Angelo's chest. His gun fell to the floor, then his knees, and the rest of his body cramped and stopped moving. Okay, he's dead. Cool! The man who kept yelling about preserving the secrecy of the... I mean, not that cool. Secrecy of the base is lying here dead. The next island over, Nijima, is close. A small boat should be able to take us here. I need to take you to hospital. The wound might be more serious than you realize. That's interesting. Never knew there was a hospital on this island. There isn't. I use a boat to take you to the next island. I take you to a hospital, but I need to return here and clean up the mess on this island, or... it'll mean a court martial. Marshal? I have a request. Please don't take me to the hospital. Why? If we go to a hospital and the embassy is contacted, I'll eventually be sent back to Italy. If this happens, I'll be interrogated about all kinds of things. Oh, okay. So this is how Beata started living on Cuvadorian. They hide her not because she was a mistress, I mean, this too, but because she was like... immigrant. Okay. That's weird. And it makes sense! I like that they explain all of this. I like that they explain the boat. I like that they explain that they need to hide their gold. I love it. I love this part. That's great. Literally my favorite part out of all that I read before. It's awesome. I wish they explained everything else this way. I want to acknowledge those people who let Mama die. There's no homeland for me to return to now. This is the end for me. So there's nowhere I want to go anymore. The people who were so kind to me, and Saint Angelo, Rubens, and everyone else, they all died. Court-martial is like military charging you for crimes in service. Is a court with evidence and all that. It may lead to just an honorable discharge or jail time. Ooh. Cool. I love it. I love it that you tell me all of the stuff that I didn't know. I love reading it. And because of that, you want to die here too? I thought you said Italian women weren't weak. Live! Hey, Kinzo? What does it mean, to live? You're the one who taught me, aren't you? Living in more than just breathing. I don't want to go back to Italy. Peachy, you said that you were dead before you met me. But it's the same for me. I died in the submarine. My homeland fell, Mama died, and even Papa died. I prayed that our sap would just sink to the bottom of the ocean, so when we reached this place, I was actually disappointed that we'd survived. Then, right after that, and Saint Angelo started asking whether anyone could speak English. When Kinzo met Beatrice, he finally forgot about dying. And when Beatrice met Kinzo, she also forgot about dying. Now that I've lost my homeland, my family, and my friends, I wish you would whisk me away. Michi. But I know that's a wish that couldn't come true. So, at the very least, I want to be with you until the boat comes for us. I don't care about the pain in my chest. After all, when the boat comes and takes me away, I'll die. Guys, you're rich now. You can do everything. Anything. Beatrice spoke this, smiling softly. She did her best to hide the pain in her chest. Please, Kinzo, just for a few days until the boat comes, steal me away. That's a wish I cannot grant. Looking apologetic, Kinzo lifted Beato up and gently set her in the boat. Coward. So Japanese men are weak after all. You're right. I am a coward, so I can only grant a half of your wish. With a clown, he placed the object wrapped in jacket into a boat. What do you mean? Oh, he's gonna steal some gold and then he's gonna come back to the island, buy it? Oh, that's cool. The part about until the boat comes for you. I can't make that a reality. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing you away. That wish I can make come true. Kinzo, there has to be a doctor on Nijima. I'm wearing a Navi uniform. I should be able to pass myself off as a survivor of a boat carrying a VIP that was sunk by enemy ship. If the doctor happens to be a greedy sort, all the better. After all, I have right here the golden magic to make people do what I say. Nice. She came from a distant country, took my lifeless body and gave me a soul. The witch who came bearing gold revived me with her magic. You're a witch. The Golden Witch. Yo! Title drop! Giggle? Yes, a Golden Witch. Even though I use the same recipe as everyone else, only my alchemy can turn pasta into a smoking black hip. Okay. Just like you, I'm nothing but a corpse that could only allow to live while you are here beside me. If you disappear, I'll die within moments. I won't let you die. Really? No matter what. Take some responsibility. After all, you're the one who spirited me away. Yo. Clap, clap, clap. Now explain everything else to me, and I'm gonna be so happy. And I'm gonna be like, phew, it wasn't a waste of time after all. It was all for something. I see. So Kinto-san told you that much. Oh, then... Wait. It was you? You the Nijima doctor that grandfather took Beatrice to? Really? Really? Okay, this is kinda dumb. As much as I like this small, not that small story, there is a small whispering voice in the back of my head just saying, still weird that it's technically the same person falling in love with a granddad and a grandson, but you know, maybe it's not the same person. Because there is 3 different Beatrices, right? It's supposed to be... There's OG Beatrice, then there's Beatrice who looks a little bit differently. And there is Beatrice who they saw in one of the games, who was here. So maybe it's not the same person. We don't know for sure. But it's probably not the same. I mean, one of them died. But she should be alive. The multiverse, it keeps growing. It does, it really does. Holy shit. Beata multiverse would actually work. Then, wait, it was you? Yes, Nijima doctor, that grandfather took Beatrice too? Why so shocked? He would have leapt to mind at the moment the words Nijima doctor showed up. Really? It's really weird coincidence. I mean, maybe it's not that coincidental. All of a sudden, a soldier from a navy appeared alone with a foreign woman. Of course I was astounded. What's more, he told me to treat your wounds confidentially, since their presence was a military secret. It was the first time you meet grandfather? I don't know, it doesn't really make sense for me that they became friends and were really great acquaintances after that. Especially, it does keep growing, specifically considering how most of them, die permanently. Prematurely. Beato, my Beato. One of them should be alive right now. For sure. Right? It was the first time you met grandfather. Yes, that was when we first met. So you Greek doctor who followed orders for the sake of gold? That's a bit harsh. He suddenly brought in a foreign woman patient, told me it was a military secret, promised that he'd pay the medical fees later, and handed me a gold as a collateral. I didn't want to get involved with any funny businesses. I was reluctant, to say the least. Somewhere, somehow, Beata is alive, eventually. We can only hope. I see your point, but in the end, you did conceal Beatrice, didn't you? I may not be as skilled as Kinto-san, but I do have some familiarity with English. I managed to overhear part of their conversation, and that was enough to convince me that they were not troublesome people. Cough. Of course, if I were to say that the Igno didn't tempt me, that would be a lie. I was much younger then, you see. What happened to you next? I treated you for some time before someone came to me on behalf of the Shamiya family and said that she would be moved to Odawara. Odawara? They took her away. So grandfather didn't come to get her himself? Regardless of how Kinzo explained away the incident with Rakijima, he probably wouldn't have been able to move about freely for some time afterwards. Precisely. Kinzo-san has said that deceiving the military was the greatest challenge of his life. So Beatrice went to Odawara, and then what? I've heard that she hid in one of those unused villas. After all, Kinzo-san already had a family at that time. It must have been tricky to manage. So Kinzo was a master of a double life before Covadorian ever existed. Whoosh. What are you doing? Is your butt itching? And later on, Beatrice and grandfather continued their happy relationship in the villa from then on. I've heard it was a modest, peaceful life, several years after they had a child. And so Covadorian Beatrice was born. The birth didn't go well, truly a sad tale. You don't mean she died? Don't be surprised. Kinzo believed his daughter was Beatrice reborn. Don't ignore the heart. It's possible to reason it out. You're right. My apologies. I don't know how many years Kinzo-san spent with her in Odawara. However, judging by Kinzo-san as we know him afterwards, even if it was only a few years, we can tell how deeply he loved her. I see. So he made Covadorian for his daughter. Kinzo-san clearly made use of a submarine gold to build up a fortune in a flash. And once again, Beata died again. Or at least her daughter. Pleased. Kinzo clearly made use of submarine golds to build up a fortune in a flash. Then he made use of his considerable skill in English to make connections with a GHQ, becoming immensely wealthy in a short span of time. I'm sure there's no need to explain this part to you, Leon-san. Yes, he used it as wells, brought Rikijima and built the mansion. The remaining relatives in Odawara scoffed at grandfather, thinking he was crazy to buy an entire deserted island. Excuse me? I have questions. Question number 1. Military find out about death of foreign people and Japanese people on this base. And what? They didn't search it at all? How Kinza ran away with this? They didn't find the gold and Kinza was able to use it? Really? Because they didn't hide gold yet, right? When the massacre started, gold was just out of the boat, but it wasn't hidden in the tunnels yet, right? They only was discussing how to hide it. And none of the government people ever find it out? And what the fuck kids told them? I mean, I understand that how Beatrice could just be here without anybody's knowing. It's fine. I believe in this, but this part about gold is really wacky. Yeah, and he just brought the island? Remaining relatives in Davara scoffed at grandfather, thinking he was crazy to buy an entire deserted island. Well, did they find out about it? He did say they didn't really remember the island, and considering what year it took place in, the Japanese Empire was, let's say, a little busy. Now it's our US boats. I'm thinking. Maybe. Like nobody would even be slightly interested? Nah, maybe, you know, whatever. They didn't have a good measures to get a hold of all these bases probably, so maybe they just forgot about it? Maybe Kinzo... For all we know, everyone that knew died, right? I mean, right, but... Nobody was asking about corpses, no our single family, not any of this. Like, is this that easy to hide all of this for nobody to remember about them? It also has a foreign, I mean, boat probably, submarine probably at some point got underwater. Maybe you can easily conceal the Italian people. Oh no, they reported Italian people. Wasn't the boat supposed to came for Beatrice and all these Italians? How? And now boat probably came at some point, and there was nobody here, and there was whole island of killed Italians and Japanese people. Is this okay? I mean, here you can yet again pretend that they just started fighting in between each other. Okay, the only part that confuses me is that how nobody find the gold. Whatever. Whatever. If you could carry 10 tons of gold around in your pocket, Kinzo probably wouldn't have brought your Kijima. Probably not. Again, there are many cases of people going missing in action for years with the World War I, then finally being found that they had no idea it was over. But the boat came from them, and nobody from the boat knew about these people. Nobody from the boat even questioned it. Or maybe a boat never came, because maybe they forgot about all of it. Maybe it's like a bunch of dumb coincidences. I mean, I would be okay to believe that even the boat didn't come for Italian people at all, if they addressed it in a story. Nah. If you could carry 10 tons of gold around in your pocket, Kinzo probably wouldn't have brought Rikijima. He hid the gold somewhere in Rikijima. 10 tons? He hid 10 tons of gold by himself somewhere in Rikijima, okay. Built up a fortune with the ingots he's taken out of it, and then brought up the whole treasure island. This is funny. Okay, he hid some gold, and then he built up a fortune, It makes sense. And then he brought up the treasure island, okay. Whatever. Exactly, and that started the legend of the Shirimiya gold. What about the mark of a wandering eagle that was supposedly pressed into the ingots. Oh, this is a good question. How the fuck did he have you done that? It was less of a one-winged eagle than an eagle that appeared to have only one wing. Excuse me? It was less a one-winged eagle than an eagle that appeared to have only one wing. Uh-huh, sure, okay. What do you mean? You'll see it often in Europe, don't you not? A crest or coat of arms with an eagle spreading its wings on it. The flag of the Stellar Republic was also an eagle, or was it a hawk? Emblazoned on it. Oh, really? Oh. So the imprint was made too lightly, or else it was poorly done. Okay, this is great. I kinda love this little detail. This is great. Like, when they address those parts, it's really nicely written, if you think about it. Okay, that's good. I love it. Correct, it was hastily wartime stamping. It was probably supposed to look like a crest of an eagle spreading its wings, but half of it, cut off of a diagonal, was too faded to see, and then Kinzo made a one-winged eagle his own crest? Oh my god. Good, that's good. Also, how the eagle spreading its wings disappeared, making it look like a one-winged eagle? Imagine trying to find out a massacre took place in Imperial Japan, when you are deep in your say kicking their ass in a naval warfare and an air warfare, when most humans don't have the radios that had that range, so mostly it was communication between islands, not the main Japan island, so to speak. I mean, I get it. I really get it. I believe that it's hard for them to even find people to go to this island, but I don't know. It's just inconsistent with what the story is told itself. No boat came, gold wasn't hidden, gold was somewhere in the open. And nobody... I'm sorry, I know I'm not the best at communicating what I'm trying to say, but... let's just drop it, who cares? So how the eagle spreading its wings disappeared, making it look like a one-winged eagle? Kinzo thought the seal of the gold of Beatrice, the woman who had changed his fate, looked like a one-winged eagle. That must be why he decided to make that his own crest. If the imprint has been made correctly, it would have been the eagle of a Solar Republic's flag. Or could it have been a two-headed... No, that would be ridiculous. At any rate, passing the night away with a Kinzo sun in front of that massive pile of gold, drinking and dreaming, was truly an enjoyable experience. It was two-headed... eagle too, like Nazi Germany? What's the name? Crest? Was truly an enjoyable experience, yep. However, Kinzo didn't want anyone using that stamp to figure out where the gold had come from. The gold he took outside was all repressed with a one-winged eagle design he had created. Oh, so he went through all the gold and repressed the stamp, okay. Then again, we are talking about a fictional island, so the location, the purpose, and its fate the following years within the war is kind of hard to explain or understand. At this point, might as well call it Atlantis. Sorry, I'm still thinking. Whatever. Let's not go here anymore. Indeed. The eagle he took outside was all repressed with one. This is insane. One eagle design he had created, and all he did was show you the gold. What a cheapstake! Of course, after he became immensely rich, Kinderson came to me once more and paid me in full for the overdue medical expenses. The amount he came with was a bit much for medical fees, though I did make sure to give him his change. And you've been friends ever since? Yeah, Kinzo-san was extremely grateful for me for keeping his secrets and concealing Beatrice. Grandfather always says that one old relatives in Odawara were a bunch of greedy liars. I'm sure he appreciates your strong sense of duty, Dr. Nanja. I think I understand why a person like grandfather came to trust you. I also had some interest in foreign countries, as well as a hobby of playing chess. Kinzo-san and I have gotten along well ever since. It was a friendship that built up gradually, but grew strong before we knew it. Yes, we have been friendly a very long time. People who deal with a large amount of money are quite mindful of a small amounts as well. When you refuse to accept anything more than medical fees, that must have earned you his admiration. You think too highly of me. No, I was just frightened by the large quantity of money. I'll be going to regret it later. It seems I've never had the real guts. No need to worry here. Guts are the one thing you've got no shortage of. You think so? Well, I appreciate the flattery. That wasn't flattery. Nanji's fight joke? Great, thank you very much, umineko. After Kinzo dies, Nanji is complicit in keeping his death a secret for at least a whole year. Of course, Natsuki must have given him a fairly hefty sum of harsh money. At the time, he'd at least gusty enough to withstand the pressure from Kinzo's children for that amount of time without sleeping up once. You're plenty gutsy, if you ask me. The sense of duty must be part of your character. Perhaps this is the only redeeming quality. I think Grandcross was blessed with a good friend. Cool. Thanks, all of you. Oh, end of a chapter. Can we, revisit, some of our favorite characters? Can we see some... The Birth of Beatrice. Uh-oh, here we go. Can we see some Froderica, please? I think I understand just how much the woman called Beatrice influenced Grandfather's life, the woman called Beatrice. We haven't learned anything. Who killed Beatrice? That's what we've got to figure out, or we'll never be able to get out of here. You're right, we need to finish this quickly. The funeral is already over, after all. You got us all wrong. This is the funeral. You mean she's making us do? You mean what she's making us do? None of the Beatrice we've heard about was so far were killed. We need to change that. That's the real funeral as far as Budcastel concerned. Erika was shadow banned into the Shadow Realm after her last shenanigans. At least that's my headcanon. No, she needs to rematch with Butler. They agree to rematch in full power. They should rematch. She never... Fuck. Whatever. Drinking my tea. None of the Beatrice we heard about so far was killed. We need to change that. That's a real funeral as far as Bercastel is concerned. No one knows about the killed factor. That's the truth we're trying to expose? You're perceptive. Is he? It hardly feels like I'm talking to a piece from a lower plan. It must be because you were giving me as my Watson. Ouch! Don't call your partner a piece. So what's next? Willard Holmes? The basis of investigation is asking questions. There is still Beatrice we need to ask about. To indicate who they should talk to next, we'll nod to the direction of George, Jessica, and Maria. Where is Butler? Maria seemed to be lecturing the others about something. Wow, Beatrice sounds pretty incredible. Yeah, and then inside the upside-down cup, she made tons of candies appear out of nowhere. Inside the overturned cup? That's wild. Sounds like magic to me. Maria-chan really does love witches and magic. Can't pass up the chance to talk to the authority on witches, can we? If looking for someone to ask about Beatrice, Maria would rise to the top of the list. The Beatrice she spoke of wasn't the real Beatrice spoken of by Kinzo and the others. Two Beatrice? Well, actually, where is Butler? Great question. However, on Rokijima of 1986, the beginning that the same Beatrice referred to was probably the Beatrice that Maria always talked about. On this timeline special stage, Lion is taking his technical piece of a family and Will is taking his piece of a witch game. In the character meta level, I mean. Squeaky? Yes, stop. I hope you didn't hear it. Whoa, it's squeaking even though I'm not trying to do it now, sorry. Sorry, I'm looking at chat and I'm always spacing out. I did hear it, very funny indeed. Oh no. However, in Rokijima, yep. I don't see Butler anywhere. It's Remia Butler, the one who was made to fight as Beatrice's opponent in many games and the most important person in this game and this tale. So maybe it's like if Butler never existed, Slide would have? I don't know. Oh! I think it's a great theory. Maybe. It's Remia Butler, the one who made to fight as— oh! They're talking about him. The one who made to fight as Beatrice's opponent in the main games and the most important person in this game and this tale. A Butler in this world would probably be peace versions, but even so, it would be possible to get some vital information out of him. We'll probably wanted to talk with Butler too, but he was nowhere to be seen in the cousins group. Maybe he's not here at all. Oh! Butler-kun isn't present in the funeral today. It's a shame, seeing as he is the cousin's closest in age to me. Are you two on good terms? Yes, of course. And you pinch his butt every time he says something perverted. Oh, how did you know? Did your detective instincts tell you that? Poor guy. Fergastel said that everything was gathered here. Since Butler isn't here, that probably means it's possible to find out everything without asking for his side of a story. Or maybe she's intentionally hiding the core elements and making us take the long way around as part of some fickle witch game. Since he isn't here, that probably means that there's no need to hear his story for the time being. Let's talk to Maria and the others. I won't say anything perverted, so keep your hands off my ass. Then why don't you try choosing your words a bit more carefully? Butler is taking a nice vacation after the BC he had to deal with last witch game. Well, obviously. He's probably up to no good, so... With a roguish smile, roguish smile, Lan pinched the air, index finger against metal. Index finger against metal. Oh, okay. It's a future hair. Are you done babysitting the old geezer? Yeah. At least Leon is impartial. No mercy, even for Jessica. Will felt a bit gratified. Okay. I see. Since Bo is a successor and Kraus is child, that makes Jessica your little sister. He is so used to Jessica being an only child that, though the scuffle between the two looked perfectly natural, something didn't feel quite right about it. Jessica, can you talk a bit more like a little sister supposed to? And while you're at it, why not try talking more like a girl your age? Also, how many times do I have to tell you to stop calling me future hair? Cram it! I will leave the way I want to! It's okay if I have to act only fine like you, future hair. Eek! Ouch! Oh, whoa! Stop it! Don't pinch me! This is sister bullying! Pervert! Stop it! Amazing, amazing scene. Jessica, why are you talking like this in front of a guest? Do you want me to get mother involved again? Don't be a snitch, Leon. Oh my god, he vetted her in this. Damn. Look at those two. Look like those two. Fuck, those situations are so funny. He just... He went into her in like high speed. Look like those two are close in their own special way. The one is gonna become a serial assaulter if this keeps up. Maybe he already is. He's literally like Butler. Oh my god. Looks like two are close in their own special way. When Lion is a person of I'm gonna die. Well, Lan is a person of impeccable character, perfectly suited for being the next head. I guess I understand how Jessica-chan feels. Lan might be a bit too perfect sometimes. She gets compared to Lan no matter what she does. So you think that made her rebel? 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 That made her rebel? Okay. If Jessica-chan has been born an only child, I'm sure she have become a composed, quiet young lady. What is going on? That's an interesting thought. Don't worry. Only child or not, her personality won't change a bit. That's weird, actually. Oh, Spider is back. Why? Whatever. Where is the rebel base? Sorry, Star Wars flashbacks. Good times. There's Oni-chan, who's this? This is the first time I've met you, correct? But it sounds as though you know a lot about our family. I'm George, and this here is Maria. Pleased to meet you. Call me Will. I'm investigating Beatrice. I want you to tell me what you know. Beatrice! See? Beatrice exists! Now Maria had looked hostile towards this unfamiliar man. As soon as she heard the name of a witch she loved pass his lips, her eyes began to sparkle. Hey Maria-chan, we got to greet our guest properly. Hello, my name is Shiremiya Maria. I'm glad to meet someone who knows Beatrice. Handshake. Maria suddenly stuck out her small hand and Will reached out for it reflectively. Telepathic connection? As soon as he did, he felt a bright light seeping out from the gap between their hands. The theater-going power that Bercastel had given him had affected Maria. Beatrice is a witch of Rokijima! She plays with me every time I'm going to Rokijima. She's my best friend and a fellow member of Mirror Sorcery. The light grew brighter and brighter. This time, he could feel himself being drawn into Maria's world. Oh, are we gonna see this flashback too? Flashback power. Incredible. I'm Shiremiya Maria. My mama is Rosa. My papa... I don't have papa. I think I remember mama showing me a picture long ago and saying, "This is your papa." It's a picture of a man with a dark suntan on the beach wearing a swimsuit. Later on, when I learned that papa meant, I asked mama to show me that picture again, but she said there wasn't any photo like that. But there was. I drew a picture of it and showed it to mama. When I did, she got really mad and said the photo didn't exist, or that if I did, she had already drawn it away. And ever since, she kept saying that I didn't have papa. Did you know, people say you need a papa and a mama to have a baby, but that's a lie. The virgin birth. Why did you say this? Behold, a virgin shall be with a child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call her name Emmanuel. What is this reference? If I was a boy, that might have been my name. Book of Matthew. Really? Chapter 1, verse 20. What? No, verse 23. Verse 20 is, "But while he thought of these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife." Fuck my life. Emmanuel was Jesus' original name. Damn. Actually, I was pretty good at Bible, but then I learned English, and now my knowledge is fucking worthless because all the names are different in languages. I love reading in this Maria voice the chapters from Bible. Really funny things. Thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Maria thy wife, for that which is concerned in her is the Holy Ghost. So you think your father is a Holy Ghost? Everyone said that everyone has a papa. They say it was strange not to have a papa, that I was weird and that felt sorry for me. But when I asked Mama, she said I didn't have a papa, that he didn't exist. She got mad and hit me even though all I did was ask, so I didn't really understand who gave birth to me. I was not right as a human, an immature and irregular creature. I realized I was a strange, beautiful girl, different from everyone else. Are we gonna go here? Are we gonna go into something really bad? Oh, it's supposed to be Emmanuel, but I mean Jesus to catch you, right? Mario Father is a verb. It doesn't matter who your parents are or what other people say. You are who you are. It must have been hard to teach that to a young, immature girl. My kindergarten teacher must have said that to me when I cried after being bullied, but even those words of encouragement couldn't fill the blank space. No, the questions. Nothing anyone said could answer the question in my mind. And the book is what gave you the answers? Where are we going with this? A priest came to see us. What? It's going to go with the religion shit? A priest came to see us. No way. Why it was never mentioned? I mean, I think his sermon was part of a class of to enrich our minds. To most of us kids, it was no different from an ordinary fairy tale a teacher could have told us. Oh, fuck. No, it was harder to understand, and I think that made us bored. Then, in the end, the priest said something important. That God knows everything. Yup. So I asked him. I only have a mama. I don't have a papa. Mama gave birth to me without papa. Is this strange and sad? I asked. The priest taught me. He said there was nothing strange about a child having no papa. After all, Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. Sure. And one of who gave birth to him was a bleeding virgin, Maria? Well, you know, I will say, I didn't expect him to take this turn. Take this as you will. I was surprised. Holy fuck. This is insane. This is insane that she became like religious, and after she became religious, she became really into a cult and shit. Whoa. Deeply twisted, okay. But I guess that's explained that why she became so weird. Maria, the name I was given, was the answer all along. I was so surprised. I asked the priest to say it again. He said that the Virgin Maria gave birth to a baby by herself. So I asked him if that meant I could give birth to a baby all by myself too. And how'd he answer that? He said the Virgin Maria was with child because of the Holy Ghost. Book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 20, last part. For that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost. That surprised me again. What do you think that means? You interpret this to mean that Shreemia Maria had no human father, that your real father was the Holy Ghost. Regardless of what the Bible actually meant, the young, sad girl who had lost her sense of identity because of her lack of a father had finally created a way to understand herself. Once I realized that, I knew I was different from all the other kids. The ones who made fun of me were all children of Joseph, but I alone was different. I wasn't worse than anyone else. I was a child of God, a child of the Holy Ghost. When I got back, I told Mama. I had no papa after all. Mama gave birth to me all on her own thanks to the power of God. Holy fuck. This is crazy. This is absolutely fucking insane. You have no idea how many Star Wars jokes and references I'm holding back on this with all this dialogue, and yet the story of the main Star Wars guy is basically the story of Jesus. Yeah, I rewatched it recently and I thought about it a lot actually. Space Jesus, sorry, got sidetracked again. I love that Star Wars is like biblical shit. I love it. It's so weird and funny and interesting. Damn. Sorry. No. I can't believe this shit. I can't believe. Imagine you put in your child to a fucking school, and then the child is like, Mama, I know the truth. And the child convert your child into a religion. Damn. That would be interesting. People in my school were talking a lot about the Bible and shit. That's when I have most of my Bible knowledge. Huh. It was really painful for Rosa whenever Maria asked about your father. I want the truth. The mom, no, you can't handle the truth. Oh no. It was probably painful for Rosa whenever Maria asked about your father. Why do you have no papa when everyone else has a papa and a mama? Every time she was asked this, Rosa flew into a rage and changed the subject. Just tell her the truth. Whatever. And now somehow or other, Maria had independently found an explanation that satisfied her. She had no papa. She was a child of mama and a god. It isn't too difficult to imagine that Rosa, after hearing this explanation the young girl had found in the Bible, might have gone along with it as though it were true. Beata said the minimum number of people needed to create the world was 2. I thought she meant that you need 2 parents to create a child. Really? That was when it came to a new thought. Beata may be a witch, but she's a witch born of a human. Beata isn't a child of the Holy Ghost. But I'm different. I was born from Mama alone. I was born of the Holy Ghost. Beata can't create the universe without me. But I have. Sorry? God with us. I can make a universe all by myself, along with the Holy Ghost. Beata called me the Witch of Origins, and she also said that eventually I might become a creator who can create anything alone. All by myself, I can create something out of nothing. I love it. I love she got into Bible and then absolutely misinterpreted it into insane extent. It became like really... Imagine if she had read Greek mythology book first, that would have been, well, technically not that different of a turn, huh? Damn, she would go crazy with Greek mythology, but I mean, she probably referenced some of it. She kinda in all the religion, all the time, into the occult stuff. And occult in itself has a lot of borrowed stuff from a lot of different religions. So it actually would be pretty similar. I myself can create something out of nothing. Beata can take that and make it expand infinitely. And she was a witch's apostle who would spread the word far and wide. And that was mere sorcery. There's a huge difference between 1 and infinity. That's why Beata is so great. But compared to the differences between something and nothing, 1 and infinity are both just something. I'm the child destined to become the best witch. No, the greatest creator in the world. Mere sorcery was the next to warm up my egg. I'm Mia Maria. Maria who stands by God's side. Crazy. Oh, no flashback, we're just in the metaverse, okay. It was like in Maria's sense of identity to a universe. Then this endless stream of words come from her might be like the Big Bang. She spent so long tormenting over how to interpret her lack of father. Then by chance she saw a line in the Bible that seemed to affirm her existence, and she finally formed an understanding of herself. The sad girl who had hated herself for being different from all of her classmates finally found her own meaning. At that moment, Maria's universe, which had only been nothingness, was born into a clump of ultra-hot, ultra-high-pressured energy. But later on, she went under Kojima, met the endless witch who called herself Beatrice, and the clump of energy exploded in a big bang, giving birth to their joint systems of magic. That was the universe known as binary sorcery. We're jumping ahead a bit too fast. Let's take things one at a time. Sure, where do you want to start? After you decided that you were a child of a Holy Ghost, it's easy to imagine that you gradually became more and more interested in the occult. And then what? Once you reached that state where did you meet Beatrice and how did you two interact? It really did happen all of a sudden one day. I had wanted to meet the witch called Beatrice who lived in Arkejima as a fellow witch. At the time you already thought that you were a witch? I did. I already knew more about the Bible and the occult than most adults, so even though I couldn't use magic, I believed that I was a witch. It's a bit funny, isn't it? That's why I'm only a witch apprentice. When did you meet Beatrice? I don't really remember when, but I do remember what it was like. It was really, really sudden. Flashback? Yo. Do you think we're gonna have a trial this episode? Or do you think this episode we're gonna just be in flashback to flashback to flashback, and the next one we're gonna have a final trial? Maybe? You know, I had a thought about this thing. I think that it's slightly funny in a morbid way, but it's probably need a lot of context to explain. So only this once, I'll not tell it instead of writing a long message about me not writing it. Success. You can't do this. You can't be like, oh, I wanna say something. You can't say, I wanna say something and then not share it with the class. It's kinda mean, in a sense. I mean, I do it, so it's okay. Oh, new song, actually. Huh? Can we have... Well, plot twist, I did in a long unnecessary message. Yes, do we have Beatrice? No. So presumably right now, Maria is meeting the Bici, right? The Beatrice who's from World War II period, maybe? Or she looks too young to be Bici, isn't she? Or is she meeting her daughter? But okay, I think it's original Beatrice. Let's go with original Beatrice for now. So you are Shrimia Maria, I presume? It was such a very, very abrupt encounter. I had just been drinking some milk tea all alone in a rose garden in the arbor. Mama said that she had to talk about something important with Uncle Kraus, so she told me to go outside and play. Suddenly, she was sitting right here. I didn't know anyone who spoke that way. I quickly realized that she was someone I didn't know at all. Freak. When did they put a portrait on? Like, portrait was pretty recently put in, like a year ago, year or 2 years before the conference started, right? So it couldn't be Maria's hallucination of Beatrice, because Maria didn't know about Beatrice at all other than a story, so she doesn't know how Beatrice would have looked like, probably, right? I couldn't realize that she was someone I didn't know at all. But if this a World War II Beatrice, how the fuck does she speak Japanese? She just learned it? I mean, there was a lot of... And why she looked this young? And it also was said that she died early, right? But Beatrice is supposed to be able to know, and Beatrice 1 out of 2 be the multiverse for now. Maybe Bici had 2 daughters or something? I wish they put characters here of all from the flashbacks too. So I could click at their models and look at them, I mean at their sprites. And look at both of them side by side and be like, huh, they do seem Maybe the real Beato are friends we met along the way. So not to Beato innocence. Okay, the only thing I'm firm on, that this first encounter between Beatrice and Maria, both of them are real. I don't think this Beatrice is a fictional Beatrice. I don't think it's part of somebody's, you know, hallucination or shit. I quickly realized that she was someone I didn't know at all. How old is Maria? Who knows? Oh, or you mean overall? She's like 10. It probably says it here, or not. Rosa's daughter, identity, she got the habit. It doesn't say. Why it doesn't say? It's so annoying. Like, their age is so important and not a single one is how old is any of them? Let's Google it. Hold on. But I feel like she's 10. Maria umineko age. Is she Maria? Cool. It's buffering. 9. Oh, she's 9. Cool, I find the spoiler. I'm really glad I did it. Okay, she's 9. Well, it was an important spoiler, but after 9 it was sent 21 in 1990 something. So I guess Maria is alive somewhere at 21. Cool. I'm sorry. Oh, I hate this. I'm sorry. Who are you? I mean, it's Uminako's fault that I got the spoiler because they didn't write the age in the first place. You're the one who first said that you wished to see me. Here I am, welcoming the witch who came to visit my island, and yet you ask my name? Cackle, cackle. Beatrice. Precisely, I am Beatrice. Yeah, that is pretty sudden. Yup, really sudden. Witches and spirits always exist right beside us. They just choose not to show themselves. And when they do show themselves, it's always sudden, although we've been here the whole time. That's what I learned this day. And then you and Beatrice became friends. Yeah, she stayed and chatted with me the whole time until Mama was done with her business. We talked about magic and witches and about how I was the child of the Holy Ghost. And what was your impression of Beatrice then? I don't like saying it, but I knew more than she did back then. At first I thought she wasn't a very good witch. Well, that was just my conceit. There are many different systems of magic. Also, mine was based on a self-study. I probably only view Beato this way because her system of magic was different from mine. I wasn't long before I came to regret that and apologized. Apologized? Did Beatrice do something to win your respect? I see. So, she showed you magic. So, if in the 90s, 80s she's 9, then yeah, it has to be second Beata, since if we consider the OG Beata was in her maybe 20s, let's be generous and say early 20s. In the 1940s, that means that at this point, OG Beata would technically be in her very late 50s or 60s. But the point was the second Beata, that, first of all, she was sheltered, and before Rosa met with her, she didn't go out at all, and when Rosa met her, she died. So, how it could be second Beata? It's really confusing. The other obvious answer could be that this is not a real Beato, but dubious. Maybe second Beato, maybe it's a third Beato? Maybe somebody had more than one child, or Beato had more than one daughter, and they all looked identical? Which is wild. How the fuck Beato could birth multiple children with the same hair color, and not of the Kintsugi children has the same hair color? How is this normal? And if she looked kinda young in this, then she would have been born of the 60s. if this is early 80s or 50s, if this is late 70s maybe? Oh, it doesn't say what year it is. Confusing. Okay, I hope they're gonna explain it. They should. We moved to the beach and talked a lot, sitting at a table under the umbrella. Very interesting. Maria, I see you have been quite diligent at your studies. At your age, to be capable of teaching a 1,000-year-old witch such as myself is truly an accomplishment worthy of admiration. And what sort of magic can you use? Magic? If you call yourself a witch, you must be able to show me some sort of magic, correct? Beato has strongest genes known to humanity. Obviously. Is Butler Beato's child? Actually? Who the fuck is Butler's mother then? Oh, it just genes make me think of who actually Butler's mother. Oh my god, it would be so weird. It has some weird shit going on here, for sure. It's gonna... oh... it's gonna be bad. Damn. Something is really shady here is going on. Some weird incestuous shit, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. I can feel it. So what are you thinking now? Is did Butler's mother marry him? I mean, they're not actually married, they're just married in the metaverse, so... all of the shit in metaverse doesn't count in my head. Because it's not real. Or at least it's sort of real. A lot of yapping today. Damn, I love yapping. It'll be the first time I've seen this stuff, sadly. Damn. Hold on, let's think about it. Butler is 19 here, right? So it's 19 and they're in 1986. So he would be born in 1960 something. So Butler can be a child, not from a first nor a second Beato, can he? Who the fuck is Beato's mother then? Right? It says the son of Rodolphe and his first wife Assum, but it was said that Butler is not Assum's child. In red, actually. Oh! Can Beato and Butler be siblings? Also, could it be double violet? It means younger Beato chose basically a carbon copy of how Kinzo looked, except his hair, replacing him basically. Let's hope not. I mean, that's literally something that Kinzo did with both Beatos, so it would be kind of fitting. Mirroring and shit, damn. And it also was said that Beato is basically Butler's perfect woman, which is also really weird. Damn. Wait, who's Asumo again? The son of Rodolphe and his first wife Asumo. We never saw her, and Asumo is dead at the events of Umineko, the killings. Asumo is already dead, and Butler's father is remarried to Curie. And Curie has a daughter who's Angie, and we saw Angie somewhere in the future. Another Beato possible got in 4K. Nah, I didn't think she's Beato. But she is definitely a dead woman. So it kind of fits. Very proud. Yo, we up to the break! Yay! Let's take a break! Okay, let's take a break. 5 minutes and be right back. Oh. Let's think on a break about how the fuck this family tree is actually gonna work. Why do all the women I love keep dying? Oh no. Okay, break. Hold on. I was thinking. I'm back. I was thinking about how it can work. Hold on. Ouch. My notes. My umineko notes. Umineko shenanigans. Great. Ouch. It was from Ushirimiya Asumu the Ushirimiya Butler was born. It was from Ushirimiya... Butler can say that she was born from Ushirimiya Asumu. I am Ushirimiya Butler. It was from Ushirimiya Asumu that... You are not Asumu-san was said in red, used by Beatrice to refer to Butler. And in red, it was also said that Butler is a Kinzo's grandchild. So as well as Butler could be the son of whom? Oh, okay, so okay, he can be a brother of second Beatrice, and or could he? I'm having hard times too. Oh, let me write it. I can write it. So we have Kinzo marries Bichi. Let me write it in Japanese because it's easier. To Bichi, and they have a daughter, Beato, whatever. Beato. And then how would this work? Hold on. Fuck. I'm having a hard time visualizing all of this. Characters. Yeah, so they need to... Kinzo and Beatrice need to birth a daughter, and that daughter needs to marry somebody else, and then they need to birth Butler in order for Butler to be Kinzo's grandchild. I don't think it's... Is this possible? I think maybe it's possible. Or there's a variant that Butler is just Rudolph's child, but not with Curie or Asumu, just some random woman. So now instead of him marrying his mother, he marries his sister maybe. Progress in progress. Nah, he still marries his mother because he is a grandchild. Do you understand? Do you understand? So Kinzo and Bichi need to birth a Beato, and then this Beato needs to marry somebody, some mysterious guy. I mean, not marry, just just fuck some mysterious guy, and then they have to have a child, and this child only can be Butler. Because Butler is a grandchild of Kinzo's sudden wrath. Or he's just son of Rudolph from a woman we don't know about. We need a pinboard with Stephen uncovered extreme mystery. Did they commit incest through a nail-biting conspiracy? They probably did. They probably did. Something is weird going on here. Who the fuck is Leon? Why the fuck is Leon here? This is immediate questions. Okay. That's enough. That's enough of dumb shit. Let's get to it. Something sneaky is going on. If you call yourself arrogant background, this is way more messed up than I could have thought of. Wow. Oh my god, it's actually gonna be like this. Oh, I can't wait. It's literally gonna be like this. Or maybe she knows. But it's gonna be more funnier if she gonna be bewildered by it. That's great. If you call yourself a witch, you must be able to show me some sort of magic, correct? I was stunned for a second. Of course it should have been obvious. I was a child of a holy ghost. Hold on. My headphones get tingled up. I was a child of a holy ghost, and since I'd studied so much of the occult, I was also a witch, not a human. Until that day, I had been so sure of both of those things. So when I was asked what sort of magic I could use, it left me in a daze. When one knows of magic and can speak of it, they finally reach the rank of apprentice. One is only a witch if they can put such a knowledge into a practice and use magic, correct? So, I'm not a witch yet? You have studied well, and I can sense a very rare talent within you. One day you may become a witch so great that even I could not compare. Hold on, sorry, I thought about something. What if, hear me out, something messed up is coming out. Something is really messed up is coming out. Should I even say it? Okay, it's kinda too messed up. What if... I was thinking, who could be the man that second Beatrice needs to, you know, in order to get a butler? Insane terminology. And maybe it's Kinzo, you know. Who else could it be? I mean, somebody else could be, but Kinzo is really fucked up. Okay, now it's too messed up. Maybe I shouldn't go here. So, what are you telling me is that against all odds, there is now close completion for the morally worst couple against the underrated champion, George and Shannon? Yeah. What if Kinzo fucked Beatrice, got a daughter, and then fucked this daughter? How would that... Wouldn't that be messed up? Damn, that's... And that's how Butler got... No, Butler would be his son. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Fuck. Phew. Phew, dodge the bullet. Phew. Yeah, we need to create a scheme that somehow Butler is still Kinzo's grandson. That's the most important part. Well, that couldn't work since Butler has to be... Yeah. Phew. Dodge the bullet. I'm so happy it's not it. So who the fuck Beatrice, who's Butler's father then? Oh, you know, she can... You know, let's not go here. That's enough. That's enough insane shit. Let's just move on. Uh-oh. Aftermath held the message for a reason. Aggression. Damn. Oh no! Used unpermitted term. I fucked your mother. Oh no. I should have done it. Oh no. Oh no. Please don't say I fucked your mother in my chat. I mean, I actually don't care. You can say this. Maybe Pulse. It was me, butler. Fuck your mother. Maybe sister. Butler. What? It will be fucked up. Oh no. I got scared for a second about Automod. Oh no. Sorry. Be careful in my chat. Be careful. I deserve it, to be fair. I mean, Twitch censorship rules are kind of fucked up, but got too into the weeds of the mystery. Oh. Okay, let's move on. Let's not talk about incest anymore. It definitely can ban me for saying this word. They wouldn't, because nobody cares. You have studied well, and I can sense a very rare talent within you. One day you may become a witch so great that even I could not compare. Or perhaps even a creator, as you have told me. However, you are still young and immature. You are... yes. You are an apprentice. A witch apprentice, you might call it. So does it mean you can use magic, Beato? Of course. I could not call myself a witch otherwise. Incredible! Show me! I want to see your magic! Until this day, Maria had never doubted the magic-related concept that she was the child of a Holy Ghost. However, no one had even proven to her that the occult phenomena actually existed. Maria could create a universe all by herself. However, she wanted to share it with a second person, so that she could believe in it even more strongly. In the past, I could have drawn a rainbow in the sky, transformed it into 7 colors of candy, and eaten them at my leisure. Would a sane, real person say it? However, my powers had weakened so much that I cannot even perceive my form as well as I would like. At least 1/5 of the stream at the moment has been trying to figure out if family action happened. Maybe I should have taken that nap. Congratulations, I blame myself. I'm sorry. Okay, I've came up with a new theory. Are you ready? Okay, I'm not ready. Maybe the child that they were talking about, you know, Kinzo and Beata's child, was born and it was fucked up, and now it'll grow up and think it's a witch or something. Because how a real person would say any of this? Maybe she is fictional. She either fictional or insane. However, my powers had weakened so much that I cannot even preserve my form as well as I would like. I just heard about this. You can't use your full power because of the shrine. It will take some time before my power returns. At this moment, I cannot turn rainbows to candy. However, perhaps I can show you a bit of this power with some simpler magic. Or did Oji Beata have sisters? I mean, even if she had, how would they came to Japan? They all Italian. I wanna see your magic! Very well, however I may ask you for your assistance. As I have already told you, no matter how pure your soul might be, all humans are tainted and filled with a toxin that resists magic. Yeah, I remember. You told me about the anti-magic toxin. Or maybe this Beata is just really, like, cruel, and she just making fun of this child. Maybe looking for their father, since again the massacre probably wasn't recorded. Ooh. Maybe. But wasn't she... Do you think your chances of surviving as a daughter of a guy who was in a leader military position of a previous Italian government, do you think your chances of surviving were high? I don't think she would be alive. It wasn't in any of the books I've read. You must really be incredible to know so much. Beatrice lifted up an empty teacup, then turned it around and read of Maria to show that there weren't any tricks of strings. Right, the magic to make candy appear inside an overturned cup. How did you know? You're incredible, Will. You even know about the witch's magic. That's because it's one of the most basic type of magic a witch can use. It was just a normal cup without any tricks in it. I wanted to see true magic. Depends on who would capture them. The wings and war crimes, damn. Damn. I don't think there any way, if Beato had sisters and didn't flee, there is any way for her to be alive. Like, even if your own government would kill him, any other government that takes over Italia would probably kill them. Maybe. Probably. Nah. Maria had a desire, whatever. She had a desire to discover the occult in others, to help her believe that there was an occult side to herself. That was why she agreed to help Beatrice with her magic. She didn't want her own toxin to ruin her chance of knowing the miracle of magic. Good. Now try looking inside that cup. Yes, you closed your eyes, and now there's candy in a cup. Oh, there's candy! There's candy! As a gift to mark my meeting with a new witch, and as a sign of our friendship, I offered this to you. Maybe she is a real person from Covadorian who just came here and started talking to Maria. Because how else would she have the candy? Right? She needed to take it from somewhere and put it here? For the first time, I felt shame and embarrassment at my conceit. I could feel the sense of omnipotence disappear, the idea that it was a child of the Holy Ghost and the most important and special person in the world. Instead of a child of the Holy Ghost who can't do anything, I'd rather be a witch who can use magic. I wish Remy and Maria wanted to become a witch, starting off as a witch apprentice. Already, I was absurd with Beato. Oh. Wait, would that mean the OG Beato mom looks like Beato as well? Or did the bodybuilding genes start with OG Beato? Who knows? We'll never know, unfortunately. Fuck, what I wanted to say? I was onto something. Already I was obsessed with Beato. Oh! Okay. Maybe this Beato isn't real, after all. I was thinking, if Maria never saw a hallucination, would she see it at the age of 10 if she was like schizo a little bit? I was obsessed with Beato, the game was watching us. Oh no. I want to be a disciple. How modest, you already have an abundance of talent and diligence. Also, though it may have been different when I was at my full power, I cannot take on a disciple in my current state. So I can become a witch's disciple? You cannot become my disciple. However, you can become my friend. Really? Yeah, from this point forth, we shall be friends. Let us continue to talk of a deep and profound world of witches. Thank you, Beato! Can I eat this candy? Oh, on the other hand, if this Beato was a hallucination, Maria would have seen her everywhere, but she isn't. She only saw her when she came to Rokijima. No, let it be a souvenir, Raven voice. Instead of eating it, keep it in this lowly bag of yours. Okay. Right, I'll eat it at home. Maria, that candy was brought into being by magic. Therefore, it is fragile. If you deny my existence with a toxin of yours, it will melt and fade away. No! I don't want your precious magic to disappear! Then be sure that you do not forget your meeting with me. And if you will keep some simple promises to me, I will greet you the next time you come to this island. I'll keep them! What are the promises? Well, to start, each time you arrive home, wash your hands. Then, rinse out your mouth. You must not complain about this, for it is an important part of a witch's apprentice training. Is toxin real? Is toxin is a real thing? Is it like in Higurashi? What? Why would you say this, ever? I'll do it! Every day when I come home, I'll wash my hands. I'll rinse out my mouth. If we do that, will I see you again? I promise it. If you keep your end of a promise, your body will be cleansed and I will regain even more of my magical power. Why? What? I mean... Then the next time you come, I will show you magic of even greater splendor. I'll keep my promise, no matter what. I'll do it. I'll become your friend and a witch apprentice. Your resolve is heartening, Ushiromiya Maria. I hope that you will quickly grow to become a full witch and my close friend. Sure. I think it was my first time I made Beatrice. And was this candy still here when you got home? Yep, but I doubted a little, so it was half melted. I regretted almost doubting her. You heard the kids, wash your hands and brush your teeth with San Beato. I don't know what to find out. I wish it was that simple. I mean, it's a joke that you need undiagnosed schizophrenia to summon Beato, but you know, that's too harsh. If I had doubted here more, I'm sure the candy would have been completely gone. I almost lost the proof of a magical miracle that had happened before my eyes. A hard piece of candy melted? It wasn't hard. It was caramel, I think. Oh. That didn't make sense. What? It was half melted and squishy. About what time of year did it happen? I'm not too sure, but I remember that the milk tea has ice in it. Why does this matter? Never mind. Did you tell Rosa about your meeting with Beatrice? Yep, I told everyone about it at dinner this day. Uncle Kraus laughed at me. Then Mama, who was sitting next to me, got mad and told me to stop talking about it. Next to you? By your family ranking system, your seat shouldn't be next to Rosa's. It wasn't a family conference, it was when just Mama and I came to visit. So there was only Uncle Kraus's family, Mama and me. Is this important? And we didn't leave gaps, so we weren't sitting in the same spot as a family conference. And Rosa was sitting in a seat next to you. Yeah. Why does it matter? It doesn't. Have you ever met with Beatrice outside Rokijima? No. After all, Beata's body is fragile, so she can go whenever she wants. I told you that she could just possess me if she wanted, but she said that she couldn't leave the island. Okay, so Beata is real and she's on the island. And after that, you met her every time you came to Rokijima. Yeah, we became really good friends. And more I talked to Beata, the more I realized that an amazing witch she was. She showed me wonderful magic every time I saw her. Then she told me about the system of magic that was different from mine, and we both talked together about the miracles of magic. I wanted to reach level as soon as I could. I wanted to become this kind of witch Beata was. Did you ever introduce Beatrice to your mother? Nope. She said Mama's toxin was too strong, so they couldn't meet each other yet. Almost all adults are no good when it comes to the toxin. They all tainted. Was everyone other than you able to see Beatrice? They couldn't at first. She said her magical power was weak and her body would crumble if even a little bit of the toxin reached her. But she granted magical power bit by bit, and eventually she could appear in front of other people who had small amount of toxin. And who was that? There weren't many of them. Just few of the servants. Specifically? All the servants here today. But not Goda-san, I think. So there were 4 of them. Genji, Shannon, Kanen, and Kumasawa. All the people who serve at Dorian also. And then Dr. Nanjo too. Oh, and Nanjo. Okay. Apparently they would sometimes come to visit Maria and Beatrice with tea parties. Of course it was only for small things like bringing them extra tea. However, they were certainly aware of Beatrice and even talked with her. How did the servants react to Beatrice? She was a guest who shouldn't have existed. Weren't they surprised? No, after all, Beatrice is the other master of the mansion. She said that the servants treated Beatrice as an honored guest, and sometimes they were permitted to witness the new miracle of magic along with Maria. So on Rikijima of 1986, the ones who could actually meet with Beatrice were you, Nanjo, the 4 servants excluding Goda, for a total of 6? Yeah, Beata said that she needed to store up much more magical power before she could appear in front of everyone else. So she intended to show herself in front of more people sometime in the future? Yup, she said that the day she made all of the humans acknowledge her would be the day of her resurrection. Acknowledge her as the head of Ushiramiya family? Something like this. The only more insane thing that can happen is that another Beata appear with Enji, the long-awaited Beata 3.0. Maria, the servants, and Nanjo had acknowledged her. New music? She had probably chosen those humans whose anti-magic toxin was weakest and appeared before them first. Do you think so, Will? Beatrice's game must have been to steadily increase the number of humans who would recognize her, until she could make everyone on the island acknowledge her. In this case, the last person for Beatrice to appear in front of would be Butler, the one said to have the strongest anti-magical power. Does it mean Beatrice thought that Butler would be the hardest one to convince? It seemed true that Butler was one of Beatrice's goals. However, if he go with Butler's chessboard thinking, we might say that Beatrice, who wanted others to acknowledge her existence, was someone who could not exist unless she was acknowledged. Butler reached this through himself back in the first game. Yeah, there is something different about the Beatrice of 1986. She's different from the Italian Beatrice, or the Cuvadorian Beatrice, both of whom certainly did exist. The Beatrice of 1986, the one whom we are so familiar with in a mysterious way, yet who has no existence. What does it mean to kill the Beatrice who has no existence? The minimum number of people required to create a universe is 2. However, Maria had said that even a single person could give birth to a universe, and yet Maria had desired a second person to nurture the world she had been given birth to alone. Because if it was born and not nurtured, it would die and disappear? Let's replace the word universe with Beatrice. The minimum number of people required to create Beatrice is 2. However, even a single person could give birth to her, and yet that single person desired a phrasing, a second person to acknowledge the Beatrice created by the first person. That meeting with the second person in a scene that Maria had just described. The single person who created Beatrice had looked for a second person to acknowledge Beatrice, and selected Maria. We don't need for Frodoerica heartless reasoning to know that the teacup magic was sleight of hand. Maria, believing in the story about the anti-magic toxin, would close your eyes whatever magic happened. Any sleight of hand would be possible while she had her eyes closed. The caramel Maria had been given as proof of her meeting with a witch had melted a little because Maria had doubted. In a season where one was likely to put ice in their tea, it was only natural for a caramel left in a bag to melt. Shemia Maria, the girl who's too trusting and will accept a story easily. Beatrice appeared first in front of this girl, who had, in the language of witches, very little of anti-magic toxin. If we liken the creation of Beatrice to the laying of an egg, then a simple person created here is no more than a delusion. At this point, I'd seem more and more like Beatrice in the umineko story. Like a chick inside the egg. If, and only if, a second person acknowledges her, the shell cracks and she appears. Here's a reference. She only appeared when a second person comes to warm an egg. When Maria acknowledged Beatrice, she finally hatched and the chick was born. In this case, mirror sorcery, which nurtured Beatrice and her system of magic, was like a nest. Beatrice had a dignified presence, called herself a witch of Rokijima, and claimed to live 1,000 years. Thinking about the Beatrice who appeared in the previous game, this sounds less like a chick Beata and more like Beata the Elder. So does this mean that the meeting Maya was just spoken of marks the birth of Beata the Elder? The egg itself had already been created by the first person. During the time before the meeting with Maria, it matured fully inside its shell, becoming the character, with a dignified presence of 1,000 years. Excuse me? When Maria acknowledged it, it hatches, and the witch of Rokijima finally gained a form. Perhaps that moment marks the birth of Beatrice of 1986. The younger, chick Beata was born out of love for Butler. Since that birth has not yet occurred at this point in time, then the birth of Beata the Elder and the existence of Beatrice at this time must have nothing to do with Butler. Are you enjoying this reasoning, Bricastel? If you are, let's at least have some applause from the audience. Okay. Great, thanks a bunch. L&D circulation. I have a lot of things I want to ask Beata to grant for me with magic, so I'm helping Beata with her resurrection. What kind of things? Lots and lots. Not telling. You want to protect your mama from the Black Witch, right? What? Again, as I said at least 2 times before, I didn't think I could get more confused from when I first entered the stream. I was again proven wrong. It was really weird for me too. It was really weird. Weird train of thought that came to nothing. How do you know so much? You're incredible! A new happy world will never return without witch's help. That's what you think now? Yup. I love Mama. She's so nice. I want to be with her forever. For all eternity. Now I'd like to hear about mirror sorcery. What's wrong? Don't wanna. Huh? I'm thirsty, so I'm gonna get something to drink. See you later. Where's Leon all this time? Maria suddenly started acting distant, bowed her hand, and left without waiting for a reply. Oh, maybe in this timeline she and NG did not make up after their fight? It was very un-Maria-like thing to do. I see. So the game master has moved a piece. Apparently she's telling me to ask something different for now. At some point, Leon had started chatting with the other family members. Jessica seemed to be getting irritated, having her butt pinched so much, and George was trying to calm her down. Jessica and George. Guess I'll hear their stories next. Compared to Maria, the anti-magic toxin is very strong in those two. At least at the beginning of the other games, they didn't acknowledge Beatrice. Maria showed me the point of view of one who believes. Now to hear from those who don't. And so family action. Damn. Ghost story of the VIP room. So, about earlier. Sorry you had to see me acting like this. I blame the future hair. It's not going to leave a mark, is it? Talk about merciless. Did you say something, Jessica? Oh, of course not. I've already learned my lesson, okay? Lion, who's apparently been chatting with an adult sibling, spun around with a smile and stared at Jessica. Looked like the older siblings firmly in the control around here. Physical violence. Those are some sharp ears. I think I finally get this Leon person. Yeah. The future hair's always been annoyingly sharp. Not to mention the favorite of all the adults. I'm always compared against this kid, at home and at school. Come to think of it, Lion was the student council president for both middle school and high school, and the head of a badminton team too. Head of a badminton team. Why? I don't know. It made me laugh. It's really funny. So everywhere you go, you get compared to Leon, and it doesn't work out too well for you. I said it as soon as I got into middle school. The future hair was already the vice president of a student council. I said, if you're planning to become council president next year, then I'll just put more pressure on me, so stop it. But next year rolls around and guess who signed up as a candidate and wins in a landslide? Same thing happened when I started high school. I said, please, just give it a rest this time. But at this point, the hair was already the vice president. Then, senior year, immediately president of a student council. That was oh so proud. Mopkin saying, now you can make sure that you're best as a little sister over and over and over again. Ugh. But even so, you're still proud to be Leon's little sister, aren't you? It's not like I even thought about this. Nope, never. Not even once. It can be tough to be compared against perfection. Still, other people are other people, and you are you. There is no need to feel dwarfed. Damn. Comes in, solves everybody's problem, leaves. You should live the way you want to with all you've got. Of course! But Mom and the others are always going on about how I need to follow in their footsteps with Jeremy and Leon as the younger sibling. They keep telling me to go join the student council to play badminton. And don't you play in a band? What? Shh! That's a secret! No one knows! Apparently, she's keeping it a secret from her family. Interesting. People often like to blame their family for what they've grown up to be like, but even in a different world with a different family, the interest of this girl called Jessica are the same as ever. Maybe they don't care that much about changing her character through universe. It's admirable that she has a true and a constant interest in something. Is it? I love that kind of stuff. Petan, sweets. Whoa, shh! Nothing wrong with extraordinary accomplished sort like Leon, but kids who act their age do have their charms. What's the best way to go through life? Enjoy your youth to the fullest. Well, thanks. Apparently, no one had ever told Jessica that they approved of how she lived, and the direct way Will had put it made her turn red and hang her head in embarrassment. I want to ask you two now. The same thing you just asked Maria-chan? Yeah, please tell me everything you know about Beatrice. Well, you can see now how much Maria-chan likes witches in the occult. For her, Beatrice is a symbol to be admired, like an anime heroine. She believes every little thing in some sort of prank caused by witches' magic. You are an adult. I don't think he's gonna do it. Why Will need a girl? She has a cat. She doesn't need a girl. You're an adult, and the fact that she'll never say this to Maria is also very adult of you. Of course, childhood dreams only happen when you're a kid. I think receiving that precious experience is an adult responsibility. Looks like the two of us will get along well. Oh no. George's position was that Beatrice was nothing more than a fairy tale. Whereas his phrase, respecting a child's dream in an adult thing to do, that might be worthy of further scrutiny. When she got the candy from Beatrice by magic, Maria probably got excited and told George and the others. Then the adults followed his lead and positively went along with her story, as adults should. However, there could be other ways this sort of reaction could occur, other than as an adult responsible to a child's claim. For example, it could be an interior response to the claims of their superior. If Kinzo, tyrant of the Ushiramiya family, claimed that Beatrice existed and had revived, perhaps the other members of the family would positively go along with the story of his inferior should. Though Beatrice only appeared directly in front of a limited number of people, it's probably safe to say that the concept of her existence penetrated deeply within the Ushiramiya family, even among those who had never seen her. However, no matter how deeply this concept penetrated, she was only viewed as a sort of fairy tale character. It would be necessary to transform the concept of that character from an imaginary fairy tale into reality. So, a person attempting to do this would need to perform something that could only conceivably be done by magic. And that something was a series of which indicates that started with a nighttime window opening pranks played by Beata the Elder, and ultimately escalated to locked room murders. Beata the Elder referred to this. Hold on. Let me quickly do something. Let's go to the title. The chapter called The Ghost Story in Something Room. Hold on. Can we... Picture box. Do you have sprites here? No, we only have images. Oh well. Shit. I wanted to check the sprites of different Beatos. Secret! Excuse me? I indeed held on. Picture box, music box, and fake tips, characters. I wasn't characters, there wasn't anything good here. Official site, Japanese. Okay. Well, that was a waste of time, sorry. Beata the Elder referred to this, saying that the anti-magical toxin filling the mansion would be weakened bit by bit, the more she made her existence known. Beatrice, why did you desire so greatly to make all others accept your existence? Because the imaginary becomes the truth if everyone accepts it? Because at that moment, the being called Beatrice will be acknowledged and will become human. In this case, before Beatrice is acknowledged by all people, she's less than a human. She's furniture. Not this again. Why would furniture want to become human? It feels like this was the theme of a previous game, because they want to gain the right. Furniture cannot love. So they try to become human for the right to love. It really is quite simple. It's directly connected to the reason the chick Beata was born in the first place. I see. I do understand, but it's complicated. I can't ignore the heart. I feel bad for saying this at Beatrice's funeral, but truth be told, I didn't know enough about Beatrice to explain her. My apologies. As far as this goes, Jessica-chan does live here, so she might know a little more than I do. Speaking of which, have you introduced yourself to this gentleman yet, Jessica-chan? Nah, not yet. There is this idiot going around pitching people butts, so I didn't really have a chance yet. A bit late, Jessica looked embarrassed for actually rudely in front of unfamiliar guest. She cleared her throat and made a beautiful bow that didn't fit well with her normal attitude. She even lifted the corner of her skirt in a curtsy. Pleased to meet you. My name is Jessica. Allow me to welcome you to the Ushiramiya family on this splendid day. Please enjoy your hospitality and... Williard. Call me Will. Beatrice, I want to be a real girl, and so Beata Pinocchio was born. I actually thought about this before. It really kinda, in places, gives huge Pinocchio vibes. Huh? Ooh? Jessica's greeting had been of an old-fashioned sort, so Will also treated her like an old-fashioned lady. He bent down on one knee, took Jessica's right hand, and kissed the back of it. Okay. Not expecting her greeting to be returned in such an old-fashioned and formal way, Jessica turned red and was unable to speak. However, Will had returned the greeting in what he thought was a perfectly serious way, so he didn't understand what was making Jessica's face glow. Have I done something strange? No, it just... I want to hear what you know about Beatrice. And you called me mad. I didn't. A glow leaked from Will's right hand, which was gasping Jessica's. It looked like the theater-going power is having its effect on Jessica. Ooh, Jessica flashback. Didn't mean for this to happen. Oh well. Beatrice, is it? Well, I can tell you, but if you promise me something, promise you won't laugh. Thinking about it now, it sounds more than a little crazy. What is it you know? I will laugh. Tell me. Sure. Where should I start? I don't want more competition for the morally worst couple. I thought it was a slam dunk for George and Shannon. Now we have Butler and Beata. And now maybe this. I don't think this. Jessica is with Canon. She literally killed person for this, in order to be with Canon. So I think they're fine. Problem with Jessica and Shannon, with George and Shannon is that story doesn't acknowledge their age difference like at all. They think like it's normal, but I feel like if we at some point find out that Butler and Beata is related, it's gonna be not flowers. But Canon lost, right? I mean, yeah. But I don't think it matters. I think they're still gonna go with this pairing through all the chapters. I mean, Beatrice didn't stop loving Butler, even though she lost too. So I don't see a reason for Canon to stop and Shannon to stop being a couple. I guess. To me, the Golden Witch Beatrice is sort of like one of the 7 mysteries of Ushiramiya family. Yo, 7 mysteries! I play this game. 7 mysteries of Conjure. You heard of those, right? Almost all schools have a set of tales of ghost stories that set passed down. Like on some days, the piano in the music room will start playing by itself, or the skeleton in the science room dances around at night. Everyone heard of them, but of course that doesn't mean they believe in them. The stories about Beatrice were the same. It was just one of those strange tales about way too big mansion. The servants would sometimes talk about seeing things or whatever during their night patrols. Sometimes I felt a bit annoyed about their turning my home into a place for ghost stories, but I didn't pay it much more attention than that. That's how little it mattered to me. So during my normal everyday life, I would completely forget about the name Beatrice. Until, of course, when that huge portrait was first hung, I was definitely creeped out. Even I tried not to melt her eyes after dark, so yeah, I don't blame the servants for finding it eerie. I just wanted murder mysteries, and now I'm served with morally dubious relationship. Let's hope the Beata and Butler thing doesn't seem as messed up as it seems now, and the Will and Jessica thing. It's just a little fan service, please. Damn. Actually, if you didn't say it, I wouldn't interpret their relationship as romantic at all, and even like leaning romantic. But okay. But that was only lasted for a short while. I mean, I walked by the portrait every day. Yeah, I'm talking about Jessica and, well, not Butler and Beata. I gradually got used to it and eventually bored of it. It was just a portrait that grandfather blew a bunch of money off, showing the mistress from his delusions. I was past caring. I get this. I bet it was very different for the other relatives who only came a few times a year. Exactly. That's why every time the family came for a family conference, they always stand in front of a portrait and talk about Beatrice, so I was reminded of it every year. Beatrice! I've come to play again! I draw another new spell! Take a look at it later, okay? You really do like Beatrice, don't you? You've been in such high spirits even since grandfather had this portrait hang. Huh? Where's Angie? Oh, Angie's here! Yo! Are they gonna show us little Angie? Maybe after the whole black hole of Butler and Beata stuff. I'm just waiting for the worst. Damn. The story broke a person. Oh no. Huh? Where's Angie? She went back with Aunt Curie to take some medicine. Angie gets sick so easily, totally the opposite of Butler. She's the sort of that gets sick whenever she's stressed. I also used to get sick on big holidays or days when we were going to the movies. But you're really tough by comparison. She's been talking about Beatrice non-stop since we left Nijima. Don't you think she's talking a bit too far? It's not so bad, right? It's normal for kids to have an active imagination. If a kid told you that she met Santa Claus, would you tell her she's a liar? Well, of course I wouldn't go this far. Maria kept talking to the portrait as though it was old friends. She promised to play with it later, as if she was talking to a living human. George and man seemed to think that this behavior from a younger member of the opposite sex was cute. But to be perfectly frank, Jessica, who was the same sex as Maria, found this behavior a bit unpleasant regardless of Maria's age. At one time, even I was fascinated by anime heroines and other fictional characters. Will we get small Auntie Angie? We'll see. Oh, I hope we're all gonna see small Angie. However, Maria's behavior seemed to signify something more direct than mere fascination. It was something much more definite, more vivid. Am I the only one who noticed something odd about her? I bet the others all noticed too, but tried to ignore it because of that adult dignity George Neeson is always talking about. My apologies, everyone. The head is quite busy with his noble research. He wishes to eat lunch in his study today, sure. Okay, as you say. Until a second ago, Kinza's children were complaining that eating lunch with their father would give them an indigestion. But now that they knew he wasn't coming, they started grumbling about how he should at least spare the time to come down during the annual family conferences. Then let us begin lunch, everyone. I have made use of all my talents and experience to make sure that all of you who have come from so far away will be entirely satisfied with your meal. No one's stomach would fail to rumble after hearing that from a great chief Goda. By the time the splendid dishes were laid out, everyone had stopped talking about Kinzo's absence. It was now Angie's absence that was being discussed. Bait. Apparently his stomachache has gotten so bad that neither she nor Kyrie could make it to lunch. Really weird that they never once show us a small Angie. Apparently his stomachache has gotten so bad that neither she nor Kyrie could make it to lunch. Poor thing. Goda, make sure you talk to Kyrie-san later and have some porridge made. Thanks a bunch for your concern. Really sorry about this. Seems she just can't handle much stress. That snow is when they're young. They're cute. I suddenly stopped being able to read. Angie was missing. We were so close to greatness, makes Italian hand sign. And yes, the Star Wars quote finally escaped despite my efforts. They're cute, at least when they're not regurgitating. George used to do this all the time. He really was frail way back then, right? Let's not talk about the past. It's not exactly a mealtime topic. Poor Angie. She doesn't get to eat this yummy food. Yeah, poor girl. Let's make sure we play with her a lot when she gets better. Damn. Can't. She can't play with me. What are you talking about? Why? Because I'm gonna play with Beatrice, of course. So I can't play with Angie. Play with Beatrice? You mean you're gonna go off and yawn again to mumble to yourself and read some books? Jessica slightly regretted that she hadn't been more tactful. However, she couldn't wipe away that uncomfortable feeling she got every time Maria talked about Beatrice, and that feeling slipped out through her words. I don't do it on my own! Beatrice is here too! Maria may have been young, but she already knew how to read a person's tone. She immediately burst out in anger, drawing the attention of everyone in the room. So this is about Maria's illness, supposedly? Mental illness, that is? Normally, Rosa would have stopped her at this point. However, Rosa happened to have gone to the bathroom. So, so there was no one to calm Maria down. Poor Jessica, you're just the charm of the toxin. With Beato's weak magical power now, she'd burn to a crisp if she ever appeared in front of you. But she will appear before you eventually. Yes, in front of everyone else too. And then the door to the Golden Land will open. But who knows if you'll be invited in? Of course she will take me here to the Golden Land. But not Jessica, not Jessica. Not someone who makes fun of Beatrice, not an unenlightened, stupid, confused, filthy, toxin-stained human. Yeah. Maria is annoying. When someone makes fun of Beatrice, it's like Maria becomes a totally different person. There was a theory about Maria having multiple personalities, wasn't there? Multiple personalities? Yeah, that probably describes it perfectly. Maybe that was Maria's idea of her ideal personality. You mean that thing about creating another self the way you want to be? Huh? How'd you know my motto? Don't think too hard about it. You get a headache. This was something Jessica had once told Conan. She had been talking about how anyone can create another self that they can really grow to like. I think we heard... Me looking at the camera? I think we heard those words somewhere near the beginning of the second game. Now that I think about it, some very interesting topics have been talked about since very early on. Is it this interesting? Everyone has something they really want to become. Good thing I was born a Barbie girl. But they never do it. The resurrection of their everyday life is what made them who they are today, so they have no way of changing themselves. True, changing yourself means changing your environment. That's not easy to do. So my idea was to leave who I am now unchanged and create another self to be the person I want to be. I felt suffocated, forced to live the life of a rich family's daughter. Or is it about how somebody has Beato personality or something? Psycho style? And you thought up a self that you want to be. But I couldn't do anything outlandish at home, of course. Nothing fun about having mom yelled at me all the time. So I made my plan. At home, I would obediently do as my parents said. But I would also create a second self to do what I wanted. At home, you do everything your parents tell you, and outside, you do what you want. That's a good way to live. You should be proud. Thanks. And well, if there's something you really want to be and you really work for it, it's easier to do than you think. I figured Maria was pretty much the same. You think Maria's doing the same thing when she gets excited and starts talking and talking? That's the person Maria really wants to be. It is going to be called a Metal Gear Solid Liquid Ocelot scenario. There is Liquid Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid. If you don't understand the reference, I'll not explain it. Spoilers. Yeah. Don't tell me. I really want to play Metal Gear. Serious? Is it still coming out on Steam? Is it, or is it come out already? This person was Maria. That's the person Maria really wanted to be, is how I think about it sometimes. As the youngest member of the family, she is adored but not respected. Every time she learns something, she's always someone in the family who already knows it. She doesn't get to show her knowledge about anything. Whenever she does learn something new, we try to smile and praise her, but that might actually have hurt her. Excuse me? She literally speak Hebrew. Why? Why are you still talking about her this way? She has insane, super deep knowledge about some really specific topic. I mean... So Maria wanted to become an authority on something. It's something that all young boys and girls who want to shake off their childhood think. It's not a bad feeling when you learn something new and your parents praise you, but when you realize that your parents already knew this thing, it sometimes feels like they're talking down on you. When a kid learns their one-digit time table, their parents will probably praise them. However, concerned parents will sometimes ask mean questions like, what is 11 times 11? 121, thank you very much. Or what is 16 times 16? That I don't know. But they constantly tell me to remember 11 times 11. Or something similar. Wait. Okay, no matter. If this happens, a kid will lose his feeling of accomplishment and starts to feel as though he would never surpass his parents. Oh fuck.